Yeah! Ho, ho, ho! Oh! What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome, welcome, welcome. 'Tis I, the king of the rats. I want to write that character. There's got to be a character in something I do in the future. He just can summon rats. I'm totally ripping off Suicide Squad, but I mean, I don't think I can say that on YouTube. Ooh, I just realized that. I'm like only a minute 30 into this. You get like 30 minutes into a stream, and then you can start saying some crazy shit. That's not a good rule of thumb. Anyways, let's move into this. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are talking horror movies tonight. Even though we started off with an anti-hero movie, that's what we're talking about first. Okay, Jake, jeez. What is up? How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? We're talking a little Scream. We're talking a little Terrifier. We're talking a little bit about whatever the heck you want to talk about. Throw it out in the chat. We'll get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Throw it out there. Let's talk a little bit about movies. Eric Z has just become a YouTube member. Thank you so much, Eric. Once again, I know I said it on the last stream, but I love your profile picture, my dude. Meeting Felissa Rose. That's awesome. I've yet to meet Felissa. I hear she's awesome. I hear she's like just fantastic, lots of energy, very fun person. I've gotten to meet a lot of my heroes this past year, and 2024, I'm excited to meet some other crazy people too. So very great stuff, Eric. I love it, man. Great stuff. Thanks for being a member too, man. It really means a lot. Your support means a lot to me, dude. Thanks. Gunner is saying, "What's up? What's up?" Sorry, Jake. I'm in an always sunny mood tonight, but I think my girlfriend is scared because I have started to be a little too much like Dennis. Do not be like Dennis. Do not, there is no implication that is Dennis being creepy. Don't be doing none of that. Don't be buying boats. You are not a golden god. I love that. Oh my God, I love that show so much. Dennis is not a good role model though. I will tell you that much. None of those people are, in fact. Don't strive to be like anybody on Always Sunny. That is shooting yourself in the foot. Bad stuff there. Melissa is saying, yeah, like LA Knight. What's up, Melissa? Welcome in. RJ Skarenki. I love saying that last name. I'll never get sick of it. RJ, I hope you never stop coming to my streams, because I just love that last name. Can't wait for the Scream 2 watch-along party on Wednesday. It's gonna be fun. Oh, we're gonna watch Scream 2. We watched Scream last week. We're watching Scream 2 this week. And we're gonna go through the whole dang series. So moving into February, we're gonna watch 4, 5, and 6. Next Wednesday, we're watching Scream 3. And I will rip on it the entire time. I'm just kidding. RJ, thanks for being here with us, man. Appreciate you. Tom is saying, what's up, everyone? Hope everyone had a good weekend. Same to you, Tom. I hope you had a killer weekend, man. Hope you guys were having fun, did some fun things, stayed safe. I know some of y'all, I'm kidding. I don't know what you guys do on the weekend. I hope you watched horror movies in a safe environment. That's what I hope, Tom. What's up, dog? Welcome in, welcome in. Ooh. With the profile picture that says Invisible Man. Although I don't see any men there. I guess that's kind of the point, right? He's invisible. Hey, Jake, love your stuff. When's your next T3 update? I'm going to try to make something Terrifier themed for Friday. That's my goal. I was going to do a review video then, but I'm just like, I could review old classics and just say what 1,000 other people have probably said about these movies. But I think instead I'm going to start doing theory videos on Fridays when there's not like a new big horror movie out. Cause like I was working on a review of Scream 1996 and I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm writing all this stuff down and I'm like, that's definitely been said a million times. That's definitely been like all this stuff I'm writing down about this movie, about, a film that's been reviewed a million times. I'm like, I'm going to do some theory stuff on Friday, I guess, when there's just not a new 2024 horror flick. Because, like, when a movie just comes out, you got all this fresh, crazy shit you can say about it. That's, like, it's on everyone's minds. That to me is more palpable, more, like, interesting, off-the-cuff kind of stuff. So I think I might start doing, like, theory videos on Fridays, whether that be about, Terrifier 3, Scream 7, other upcoming horror flicks. We got the new Alien flick is on the rise. Maybe I'll do something about that. Who knows? The possibilities are endless, my friends. So I'm working on something for Friday. I'm aiming to do a Terrifier theory for Terrifier 3. We'll see what happens though. Those are some of my favorite videos to make too. It's been a long time since I've done those. Chris, what's going on, dog? How is the dog? Can I ask? I just look at this gentleman in this profile picture. Not to assume his or her gender, but goddamn, that is a cute dog. I love it. How's it going, Jake? Loving the new content you've been making. Thank you so much, my friend. That means a whole lot. I've been so scared about making content, doing it differently. Just out of curiosity, how did today's video do? And what did you guys think about that? I had some comments saying this is a terrible matchup. I disagree personally. I think Terrifier and Nightmare on Elm Street works well. Got like 500 views. Okay. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Chris, I hope you enjoyed the new Versus videos. That's been like my favorite. I'm so excited for this week's hot takes. We're talking about the Scream franchise. I changed it up. I changed this week up a little bit too. We're talking about how the Scream franchise is ranked by Rotten Tomatoes, critics, audience members, and then my own ranking. And that my hot take is my own ranking because it's wild. It's different than what you've seen in the past. My opinion on those films changes very drastically, and I'm really excited for that video. That one's gonna be fun. But Sarah's also with us saying, "Hey friends, what's up? What's up, Sarah? Welcome in. Thanks for being here. The Queen herself." Thank you. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate you, Sarah, and thank you for your support as well. Ashley is here too, saying, "What's up?" I will never stop saying that. I'm so sorry to people who have heard it a million times. Eric is saying, "Happy Monday, Jake." It certainly is a happy Monday, Eric. I'm having a great day. Last week was rough for old Jake, but I'm having a fantastic Monday today. And that's good. We got to look on the bright side of things, right? Amy is saying, "I have just watched Crazy House at Sundance." Oh, I wanted to see this. This looks so good. Starring Nick Frost, and it was meh. Oh, it looks awesome. Crazy House, if you guys have not seen the trailer for this, it kind of looks like if they made a full movie out of Too Many Cooks. I think that may be one of the better ways to explain it. I haven't seen it, of course, just my impression based off of the trailer. I definitely recommend giving this one a look-see. Go ahead and check out what's going on with that, with the trailer there. But Amy says it was just kind of meh. That sucks. Amy, I was really looking forward to this one. I'm so sad that you weren't crazy about it. Makes me sad. Well, Amy, thanks for hanging out with us nonetheless, though. I'm excited for a whole new year of horror, man. I haven't been impressed by anything yet, but I'm hoping that changes here soon. Mr. Cheese got some 0101s there saying, "Hey, Jake, what's up, Mr. Cheese? How's it going? I love your profile picture, dog. Very nice. Terrifier 2. Oh, I'm excited for Terrifier 3. I cannot wait. Jottery. Is that like lottery, but with a J? Howdy, hey, my dude. Creepy profile picture. You just hang out in the dark like that with your glowing eyes? I like it. Creepy stuff. Mr. Cheese wants a shout out. Shout out to my boy, my dude, Mr. Cheese 0101, rocking a dope ass Terrifier 2 profile picture. Are you excited for Terrifier 3? I gotta know, Mr. Cheese. Tell me about it. Tell me what you think. Mr. Rick is saying, "Can't wait, extra tired today. Hope I can make the whole thing. Let's talk horror." Well, listen, man, if you got to drop out and take yourself a little nap, I understand. Naps are important, okay? I'm an old man now. I get the concept of the nap. I took a 4-hour nap the other day. I have never felt so recharged in my life. More people should we normalize naps. That's what I wanted to get on here and say today. Take more naps. Hellfire Munson is throwing $2 out there, who is also excited for Terrifier 3. You're seeing it with your girlfriend. Very nice. I am so excited. Like, oh my God, I'm going to be there day one. We got that and The Wolfman from Blumhouse coming out on the same day. And I'm not going to stop bringing it up. I'm so excited. Like, both of those movies are like top of my list when it comes to things I'm excited about for releases this year. Maxine is definitely up there too, but we don't have a dang release date yet. So I'm sad. But Hellfire Munson, dude, I cannot wait for this movie. It is going to be fucking brutal. Thanks for the $2, dog. I hope that, I said this in my video today. I was like, I hope that I'm eating my words in October when I talk about like my favorite kill. Like, nothing can top the bedroom scene from Terrifier 2. That's my personal opinion right now. Greatest kill I've seen in a slasher flick in my entire life. I hope I'm eating those words come October. But who knows? What does Art the Clown do to top that shit? I think I already have an idea, but we'll just have to see. Amy says, I'm at Sundance, and if you're wondering, yes, I have seen Your Monster. I hear good things about that one as well. Amy, throw it in there. What are your thoughts? Oh, you got to leave because you're tired? You've been watching movies all day, Amy. Well, it's okay. We'll be left on a cliffhanger for next time. I love it. Amy, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate you. Eric Covington is saying, Killjoy Jake, what's up? Can't wait for Terrifier 3, man. Hell yeah, dog. Oh, I can't wait either. I'm so excited. I'm excited to see, the returning cast, of course. This is going to be, technically, our first like big returning cast from one Terrifier movie to the other. You know, we got Victoria Hayes from 1 to 2. But that's a bit of a different story, right? You know, I don't know if she was necessarily a main character in Terrifier 2. Just a stinger scare, essentially. So I'm excited to see, you know, what our main characters from the previous film, what they're up to. The living ones, that is. Chris Jericho's going to be back. We got Victoria back. We got Lauren Lavera back. We got Elliot Fulham. I wanted to say Jonathan Fulham, and I'm like, that's not right. His name's Jonathan Shaw in the goddamn movie. I'm excited, though. I'm excited to see what they're up to years later after the events of the previous film, maybe a couple of months later. I don't know, man. I'm so excited. Oh, I love this name. I like Scream and Ice Cream with a badass profile picture, throwing Ghostbusters and Scream into a blender. What is the best and worst Rob Zombie films? Oh, man. You know, I'm rewatching Rob Zombie stuff right now. I just got the Firefly trilogy and 31 for super cheap on Blu-ray. Very easy, not easy finds, but like just random finds. I found these in the wild for super cheap. It's like, no way, awesome. So I've been rewatching some of those. I love those movies so much. 31, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects. Those are like top of my list when it comes to Rob Zombie. I love all three of those movies. My least favorite is probably Rob Zombie's Halloween that I've seen. I don't know if I've seen all of his movies. The Munsters is probably up there for worst too. But I don't know. His Halloween does not work for me. I think there are a lot of parts of it that are like really cool ideas. I just don't feel like it's paced very well. I don't feel like it was organized very well as a film. So that's kind of my big thing about it. Halloween 2, I think, is actually kind of a step in the right direction because it just feels like more of a Rob Zombie film. You know, if you just watch it, that's how I watch that movie. You know, I'm not watching that like I'm putting in John Carpenter's Halloween. I'm watching Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 like it's just a standalone weird little flick that he made. And I think that's why I appreciate that one a little more. But I don't know. There's just too much. They try to... Besides the first hour of the film, you know, that's basically just Michael's upbringing. The rest of it's just kind of John Carpenter's Halloween, but a remake, you know? I don't know. Just doesn't do a whole lot for me. And then it just kind of turns into like wall-to-wall nonsense violence that I'm just like, I'm so desensitized to this at this point. I don't even care what's going on. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. Villain Killin' Dylan is with us tonight. Yo, yo, yo. Hi, my chunky Jordy. How's it going? Welcome in. Armani Cox is saying, what about Halloween? I just told you about my thoughts on Rob Zombie's Halloween. But I know a lot of people love it. Like a lot of people love how violent it is and over the top. If we're talking, you know, how brutal some of the kills are, I mean, that might be one of the best from the whole franchise. I just think it's too much. You know, there is such thing as too much violence and gore and without having a break or anything, because then you just get desensitized to it. You know, it's like, to me, it's like just having like eating fistfuls of candy versus just taking one out of the bag and appreciating it for what it is. You know, I guess, I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. But Darth, what's up, dog? How's it going? Yeah. Get it up. Welcome in, dude. Appreciate you for hanging out with us, man. Paul is with us too, saying hi. Hi. Hello, hi. Welcome in. Noah Atkinson is saying, hey, Jake, for Scream 7, would you want a 147-minute long film or, Jesus Christ, 167 minutes? You know, I think Scream films are pretty damn awesome at like 2 hours, maybe a little over 2 hours, maybe a little under even. That to me is the right amount of time. I don't think you want to hold people in the mystery for too long. They might start to figure it out. So I don't know if I want like a near 3 hour long Scream film, but that's just my opinion, of course. Some people might disagree. I'm curious what some may say. I would honestly rather have two films that are both 2 hours long, or you know what I mean, versus just like one long one. I guess that's just my thoughts, but also I'm always here for reinventing franchises. You know what I mean? If someone has a killer idea for a 3 hour Scream film, I'm down to listen. I'm down to listen to this crazy idea. Run it up. What else do we got going on? Bobby is with us saying, yo, hope you've been good. I've been good, man. I'm vibing out, having a fun time tonight, talking a little bit about horror, you know? That's the way you got to do it. It's the way you got to do it. Saying hi to Melissa. Love it. Love a little love in the community. Tom is saying went to emo night in Rhode Island and caught an upper respiratory infection. Oh no, Tom. I'm so sorry. I hope you're feeling better, my dude. I've been to emo night a few times. It's fun stuff. We do that here in Ohio too. That's funny. It's weird the things that you hear other people say they do, and it's like, oh, I thought that was like an Ohio thing. Maybe no, it's all over the place. It's in Rhode Island too. Cool. Cool stuff, man. Rhode Island is one of the only states I've never been to, fun fact. So I got to change that. Got to change that soon. Eric, what's up, dog? How's it going? Or ERC, saying, hey, Jake, big fan of your YouTube channel, bro. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Eric. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you. My Chunky Jordy is saying I might be able to make the Scream 2 watch along, my favorite Scream film, and usually when I'm making or eating dinner. Badass. Well, I hope you make it, my Chunky Jordy. That'd be very fun. Very fun stuff. It's gonna be a good one. I'm hyped. Robert Brunello is saying, I live with no regrets. Let nothing stand in your way. You know what? Great advice, my friend. I love this. Robert, great stuff. You also have a badass Terrifier profile picture. But this is a Terrifier 3 one. Robert's living in the future. I love it. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Appreciate you. Ooh is saying he really liked today's video. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Means a lot. Yeah, I mean, you know, some of the matches, I feel like some people will be able to just look at them and be like, okay, yeah, like, I know it's going to win. But I think I made some pretty good points in Terrifier's corner for things that it does better even than Nightmare on Elm Street. I favored the kills in Terrifier over A Nightmare on Elm Street, which is probably, maybe a hot take, because those Nightmare kills in that first movie in particular, pretty good. So, I think that, me personally, I feel like there's a good argument there. I think most people will probably say Nightmare is the better film, but I think at the very least there is an argument, even if it seems a little one-sided. Bobby G. Y'all is even talking about it, saying, I'm predicting your followers will romp Terrifier in for the win with your battle, but for my 2 cents, Nightmare is a masterclass in horror. That opening, oh mama. I'm with you, dude. I think that Nightmare is the better film, personally. I do think it's closer than most people would say. Like I said, I said that in the video. I stand by that. But yeah, Nightmare is fantastic. I really only had 2 very minor issues about it that I brought up in the video today. Besides that, I was jerking this one off pretty much to say it in a way that wasn't too gross. Trust me, I could have. Listen, I can make it grosser. Okay, if Jake's good at anything, it's making shit gross. But Bobby G, hell yeah, man. I'm excited to see the results for this one, because the Scream one was really close. Like, Halloween and Scream were neck and neck, dude. And I was kind of expecting, I'm like, oh, people are gonna vote for Scream because that's what they know, you know. I'm like, let's see it, let's run it up. No, it was way closer than I thought. I was like, ooh, interesting. So I'm excited to see the results for this one, Bobby. It's gonna be exciting stuff. So, yes, you guys can sign up on Patreon if you guys want to vote on that. Just the small $3 tier, nothing crazy. And Sarah's even gifting memberships left and right. So all of y'all who just got memberships, the 2 of you, go ahead and vote in the poll for today. For who wins the next one, Terrifier or A Nightmare on Elm Street? Sarah, thank you so much for gifting those memberships. I appreciate the heck out of you. Thank you, thank you. Mr. Rick was saying it's a good matchup, but I believe Nightmare has the win. I'm with you. I'm with you there. We're going to do, in the future, we're going to do Terrifier 2 versus, I don't know if I want to pit it against Nightmare 2 or Dream Warriors, because Dream Warriors is a direct influence for Terrifier 2. So I think that makes a little more sense. So that one's coming up, though, probably next month. You guys will see that one. But I'm really excited for next week. We're doing Scream 6 versus, what was it? Scream 6 versus Halloween Kills is what it was. I'm very hyped for that matchup. I think you guys will be shocked by the results. Who else is hanging out with us tonight, though? Eric Z is saying Nightmare on Elm Street wins the matchup, in my opinion, but Terrifier is the new great horror franchise. I touched on that a little bit too, Eric. I was saying, like, you know, look, Art the Clown's the new kid on the block. We need some time with him before we really get anything figured out, you know? We got, give it some time. Let's get a couple more movies under our belt, and then we'll talk about if Terrifier stacks up to Nightmare on Elm Street. But, you know, my man Freddy's the king of slashers. Hot take. Will we see anybody who outdoes him? We'll just have to see. Trayvon King is with us tonight saying, hey, Jake, tell me what you thought about the Robot Chicken intro, like the intro to it. I love it. My dude, Les Claypool, does the music. I'm a huge Primus fan. I stand them. I fucking love Les Claypool, Primus. They can do no wrong. I love their weird ass music. It's so good. These are the same guys that also do the intro for South Park too. If you're like, oh, wow, that makes sense. Those are both really weird intro songs, you know? Primus does the South Park stuff. It's just Les Claypool that does Robot Chicken. But still, it's pretty much the same thing. Pretty much. I love it. The Robot Chicken intro is fucking awesome, man. Great question. Honestly, great question, man. My Chunky Jordy, thank you so much for the support, my friend. Saying Sarah is the queen. You know it. And look at that. Sarah's even saying, Gina, you're too sweet. I love it. Thank you so much for the support, though. I really appreciate that. Does mean a whole lot. Thank you, thank you. Sarah's the queen. Do not disrespect her in this territory. Jay Dorn is saying, I love Terrifier 1 and 2. Bring on 3. Hi, Jake. How's it going? How's it going, Jay Dorn? Is that like, I don't even, Jay Dorn is like Dorn, your start of your last name, Jay. Maybe you're a James, maybe even a Jake. Oh, that's a pretty cool name, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate you. Amy was saying your monster was pretty great, along with in a violent nature. Oh, I don't think I know that last one. Okay, interesting. Very interesting, my friend. Rye Shy Guy. I love that. Thanks for being a channel member, my friend. Thank you, thank you. Saying happy Monday. Jake saw a trailer for a movie with Kyle Gallner called The Passenger. Ooh, I've heard Kyle talk a little bit about this. It looks like it's a Blumhouse and Paramount movie. Looks pretty dang good. I'm gonna have to check this one out, man. Kyle is hyping this one up over on his Twitter page. And you know I love me some Kyle Gallner. Gallner horror? I think it's Gallner. I've heard a lot of people say it that way, so I think that's correct. But yeah, I love Kyle. I think he's so good. He adds a lot to like pretty much every horror movie he's in. Got it. You can't miss one of those. He's a Justin Long, you know, to the point where it's like if he's in it, you gotta watch it. You know it's gonna be good. So I'm very excited for this one. The Passenger does look very good. Very exciting stuff there. Eric is saying, I don't know, it would be cool. My theory Dreamcast for Scream 7. Kirby, Courtney Cox, Jamie Lee Curtis, Nev Campbell, Sydney Sweeney, Drew Starkey, Jacob Elordi, Danielle Harris, and Kaylee Spaney. That's a pretty good cast right there, man. I'm watching White Lotus with Sydney Sweeney in it right now. That is such an underrated show. So good. But I'm all about that. Who was there was an actress that was rumored to be in Scream 7. Obviously that was probably all bullshit, but I'm trying to remember who it was, because this was someone that I really wanted to I wanted to say Sophia Thatcher. I couldn't remember. Sophia Thatcher was rumored to be in Scream 7. I think she would be an excellent side character in one of these movies. So just a thought there, throwing that out. I'm excited for it. What else do we got? What else is hanging out in these comments? Johnny Hideout UK throwing £5 out there. Thank you so much, my friend. Saying, hey, Jake, hey, guys, isn't life cool? It sure is, Johnny. Life is pretty cool. I'm high on life right now. Saying, Killjoy Jake is live again. Say it like a DJ. I said a lot of that like a DJ. I didn't even read that last part, and I was already there, Johnny. One step ahead. One step ahead of the game. I love it. Johnny, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, man. I really appreciate your support. You're always coming in here. You're always dropping something crazy like that. It means a whole lot to me. So thank you. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for talking horror with us. Us weirdos talking horror. I love it. Great stuff. Aqua Death is saying, are you going to do a Terrifier or Terrifier 2 watch party? Absolutely, my friend. We're going to go through franchises, I think. We're just going to keep going through them until we have no more to watch. I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I was thinking about doing Texas Chainsaw next because, like, I want to start spicing it up. You know, I want to start talking about more slashers than just, like, Scream, Halloween, Terrifier. So I was kind of thinking about doing, like, a Texas Chainsaw Massacre watch party, go through that whole franchise. Some of those are stinkers, though. But I think it would be fun to do a rewatch of it. And this is a good excuse to do it. I need to rewatch some of these. So I want to do the Friday the 13th movies, too. But that just feels like a summer franchise to me, you know? So I'm waiting until, like, maybe June. I think like June, July, August, we'll probably go through all three of those. But leading into that, we got a lot of franchises to cover. So it's going to be a fun year of watch parties for sure. But it's absolutely on the list. We're going to do more than just Scream, I promise. But as of right now, yeah, I just kind of want to go through the first, like, just get through 6 Scream movies, see how that's, feel it out, see if people are vibing with it. People are like, yeah, I like watch parties. This is cool. So that would be cool. Where's your Scream versus Halloween, as I can't find it and wasn't notified? Oh, that's no good. Yeah, no, I posted that last Monday, I believe. Let's go to my little page here. Yeah, I posted that last Monday, Scream 2022 versus Halloween 2018. This was a very fun video to make. I felt like it was really close, personally. I was very on the fence about which one to give it to. I watched the video, but the community ultimately decided that Scream 2022 was the better flick. But check it out. It's a really interesting video. I think I did a good job covering both movies. I don't know. Give it a watch. Obviously, not everyone's going to agree with my opinions on said movies, and that's the best part of this channel. But I'm curious what everyone has to say about some of the stuff I bring up, so check it out. It's a good video. put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and other fluids from my body into it, so. Mellow Mutant Plays. What's up, dog? How's it going? Nice PFP there. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Talking a little horror, talking about a little YouTube content. Why the hell not? I love it. There's so many lives tonight. I watch horror channels, a true crime. True crime channels and horror channels. Or maybe it's a crime that you're watching so many channels. I don't think it is. I think it's fun. Welcome in, Melissa. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I'm excited for Terrifier 3 to start filming. Me too, Christopher. Should be starting up real soon here, which is probably why if you go to, a lot of our friends' pages who are making the current movie, they're not posting a whole lot lately. I don't know if you guys have been noticing that or not, but they're slowing down on how much they post on their social medias. I think they're getting real busy, starting to work on all this. Been seeing some like behind the scenes photos, nothing like, crazy of anybody in costume yet or anything like that. But I've been seeing some like photos of like them on video calls talking about the movie, pre-production shit, that kind of thing, which is exciting. But unfortunately, nothing really to make a big video about, not yet, at least. But as soon as they start filming, I know we're going to get something. And I know the Terrifier 3 updates are going to be rolling in, my friend. So I'm really excited. We're at the cusp of it, like in another week. They're probably gonna start filming and shit's gonna start coming out. Gonna have a lot to talk about. So I'm excited, Christopher. It's gonna be a very fun month. So I imagine February is gonna be loaded with Terrifier videos, and I'm excited for it. Deontay Van Horn is saying hi. Hello, Deontay. Welcome in. Appreciate you for stopping by. Talking a little horror. Sarah's also saying subscribe to Jake's second channel. Go check it out. I'm going to start posting on there a little more. I am currently streaming there too, so maybe you're watching me on the second channel. Hello. Hello, second channel people. Appreciate you. I'm going to start posting on there. We got some updates today that I want to talk about. There's a new Jurassic Park movie coming out, so got to talk about that in a big video. So that'll be up on the page hopefully tomorrow. Like I said, lots of videos in the works. I just finished up my Wednesday video, put some finishing touches on it this afternoon. I'm excited for you guys to see it. Amy is saying she loved Sundance, by the way. I watched Talk to Me last year at Sundance. Nice! I wish I could go. I bet that would be so much fun. Talk to Me was so good. I got to see it early, not that early, but I got to see it like a month early, and it was just so good. Like, I was just blown away. Talk to Me was such a good movie. If you guys have not seen it, run it. Run that movie, buy it, do whatever you have to. Support my Rocka Rocka boys. They worked hard on that one. I really enjoyed it. Eric is saying, dude, what about a reboot of The Hills Have Eyes? Need it soon? Do you like the Alexander Aya one? I don't know. It grew on me. I wasn't crazy about it the first time I watched it, but I don't think I've seen the sequel now that I think about it. I think I've only seen the first one, but that remake's pretty good, I think, in my opinion. It's not too bad. Do we need another version though? Do we need another modern update? Was 2006 or 7 when that came out? Was that not modern enough for you, Eric? I understand. I'm always down for reimaginings of old classics. If you can find a good way to do it, if you have another thing to throw at it and you're like, oh, I want to do this instead. Hell yeah, run it. Even if it's worse, like I'm still down to see what what new idea you might have. For me, that's really interesting. Because it's like, here's how this person interprets this movie that I very much so interpreted different, or maybe the same. I find that fun. I find that fun to watch movies and be like, wow, that's how this director thinks about this franchise. Interesting stuff. Chris is saying Texas Chainsaw next. I'm so down. Absolutely. I'm excited for that one. I love those first 2 movies, but wow, there's some stinkers in the rest of the bunch. I'm excited though. I think it'll be fun to watch like bad movies on here too, you know what I mean? We got to represent everything, not just the classics, but some of the crappy sequels as well. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be cool. RJ Skorenki saying Aubrey Plaza in Scream 7. Okay. She's a good actress. She's great on Parks and Rec. I absolutely love her in that. She's also in this movie called like Life After Beth, I believe it's called. Pretty fun little silly horror comedy if you've never seen it. It's like I think she dies or something. And her boyfriend like brings her back to life as a zombie or something fucked up. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember that one being like, oh, that was fun. that was my reaction to it. It's like, oh, cool. Tato is with us tonight saying, I would love to see you do a rewatch or reaction of 2009 Friday the 13th remake. We're doing it this summer, my friend. That's going to cap off our Friday marathon, I think. I don't know. For me, I'm like, Friday movies are summer slashers. Like, I watch those typically in the summertime. I plan on doing a rewatch anyways this summer, so I'm like, fuck, why not just do it on here? Look at that. I have a whole little pocket of the internet of people who want to watch and talk about horror movies. So I'm like, let's do it with them. Cool shit. So this summer, Tito, we're going to do it. We're going to make it happen. It's going to be a really fun summer on this page, I think. A lot more fun than last summer when we had a strike and literally nothing to talk about. So if you guys are wondering, it's like, why does Jake like trying to get away from update videos? It's because every year that I've been on the internet, something has deterred update videos and has made my life very hard. Either being a pandemic or a random strike that came out of absolutely nowhere. So I've been like, I cannot have that happen again. So we're doing consistent evergreen content on here just in case. Just in case. Oh my God. Like at this point, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen next. I gotta have something consistent on here, man. Oh, this summer was scary, man. But we got through it, man. I'm maybe a little crazier because of it, but we got through it. We have to do Friday Part 3 in 3D. Oh, that would be sick. That would be fun if we could do that. I'll wear the 3D glasses. I don't even give a shit. Even if it's not 3D, I'll make it happen, Ty. Deontay is saying you are funny. Thank you. I appreciate that. Sometimes I think I'm not funny and I cry myself to sleep. Anyways, no, I'm so kidding. I'm so kidding. Running it back. Ooh is saying, what's up with Smile 2? Not the biggest fan of the first, but what's the news? The news on Smile 2 is we're just getting a whole bunch of casting. We know the whole cast pretty much at this point. I talked about it on the second page a bit. I did a couple of updates on Smile 2. We pretty much know that we're focusing on a brand new character as well as Kyle Gallner from the previous film. That has since been confirmed. I've heard some other things, but I can't say what those things are yet. But I'm excited. Honestly, what I know about the film, I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be a very good sequel. I don't know if it's going to top, for me, I don't know if it's going to top the original. You know, the biggest thing for me is our lead final girl gave an excellent performance in that last movie. Which, you know, I don't know. For me, that like adds so much to it. Sosie Bacon was incredible, and I don't mean to spoil the movie. It's been out for almost 6 months now. We know she's not coming back, so I'm excited to see what happens in Smile 2, where it goes next, what happens next with the story, the mythos. There's a lot more to unfold there, I think. Which is honestly, it's probably one of the biggest releases of the year, considering how big that first one was. So I'm excited to see where they go with the next. I really am. Cast looks really good too. Like I said, what's her name? Naomi Scott or something like that just got cast. I didn't know who it was. She had a bunch of credits under her name or whatever. She's someone kind of popular, but I was like, I don't know who this is. I'm like, cool. Hell yeah. We got cast members. Thumbs up. Great stuff. Aqua Death is saying, what's your favorite scary movie? I get this question, I think, once per stream, but I don't even care. I will always go on a rant about my favorite horror film, The Fly, the remake specifically from David Cronenberg. I love it. It's gross, it's gooey, it's tragic, it's a little romantic too, it's a little sexy. If you like, if you like some of the stars of that one. Jeff, he's a hot man. He's got a bunch of hair on his chest, so I don't know. Maybe that's your thing. I don't judge. We don't judge around here. All right. But all I'm saying, great movie. I love it. It's a 10 out of 10. It's my favorite horror movie. It's one of the movies that made me fall in love with horror when I was younger too. I was like, this is awesome. I love disgusting, gooey creatures. Great stuff. I have this weird relationship with horror films. Like, I was so into them when I was like a kid. And then like high school, I kind of got away from all that. I got into music a little more. And then now as an adult, I love them again. I got back into them, and it's like, oh wow, horror movies are fucking great. My younger self knew what he was talking about. Chrissy Rengert is saying Founders Day was featured in an issue of Fangoria. Very cool. Very cool. I'm gonna be honest, this was just not a movie for me. The characters, the dialogue, written very poorly in my opinion. I don't know. I just didn't do it for me. I wasn't even really impressed with the kills or nothing. Not a whole lot of saving grace with that movie. Not for me personally. I don't know. The dialogue and character development, I think, is so important when it comes to slasher movies, which, you know, some people will say, we just want to see kills. I disagree. You gotta have good characters. You gotta care about these people. Otherwise, it's just people getting murdered. And I think anyone can make a movie about that personally. So we need good characters. We need good characters or it's not gonna work. Would you ever want to see Terrifier be rebooted someday? No. Oh God, no. Doesn't everybody say that though about franchises they love? That's my thing. You know, I'm sure, you know, with all the hype surrounding Terrifier right now, like I love it. It's so good. It's such a great franchise. We needed a horror icon in the modern day, and we have that in Art the Clown. I'm excited for Terrifier 3, and I'm sure one day down the line, someone's going to come along and say, I want to remake Terrifier. That movie meant so much to me, you know? And I bet they might be able to do something better with the original Terrifier, in all honesty. Like, not that I dislike that movie. There are things you can do better in it, and maybe a remake will do that, but I'm going to be hesitant to it. I'll tell you that much. I'll be very hesitant, but I'm going to try to be a little more open-minded with these kinds of things. You know, I think about all the people who hear the news of, like, you know, Scream's getting a reboot, like they were doing a requel of all that, who got that news in, like, you know, 2019, and then the 2022 movie came out. I imagine a lot of people who grew up with Scream were like, no, you can't do that to Scream, come on. And I'm sure that's why there's a lot of, you know, distaste with some of these new movies for that very reason. And I'd feel the same way about, like, if they tried to reboot Terrifier in like 12, 15 years, I'd be like, no, only Damien can do that. And it's the same thing with Scream. You know, people are like, only Wes Craven can do that. But man, you know, there comes a point where you gotta hand it off to other people. You gotta hand it off to your fans. It's tough. You know, it's never going to be an easy thing, especially as fans of these franchises. But the day will come with Terrifier. We're in the heyday, the prime time with it right now, but the day will come where someone's going to want to reboot and remake Terrifier. And I'm going to go into it with an open mind, even though it's going to break my heart. So I think I would be a hypocrite otherwise, because I really enjoy these new Scream movies, even though they're not Wes Craven. And you got to look at things like that with an open mind. And it might suck, but hopefully it doesn't, right? We can only hope. VKD is saying which TCM is the one where Leatherface breaks into the radio station and literally, that is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. He doesn't do that, but there's an allusion to it later, which is gross. But that's a whole other conversation that I don't think YouTube would be very happy with Jake if I kept talking about that, so. Chrissy is saying no one likes any of the Jurassic World movies. Why? I definitely have my issues with them. But I was actually talking with somebody today on Twitter who was saying the first Jurassic World is one of their favorite movies, like just ever. And I think that's great. That's wonderful. I personally am not crazy about all three of them. I think the first one is like fine. It's like, okay, not bad. It's number 4 on my ranking. I'll give it that to the first Jurassic World, but those other two, not crazy about them. Not for me. But I don't know. The original Jurassic Park, those first 3, those are so good. I love all 3 of them. Even 3, even the Velociraptor saying, Alan, I love it. It's cinema. Oh my God. No, I really love those movies so much. And you know what? I'm going to stay open-minded for a new Jurassic World. Whatever, you know, cool. Maybe it's better than Dominion. That to me is it's only up from here. You know what I mean? You can't possibly go lower than Dominion. Oh, fuck, man. Mellow Mutant Plays is saying, I was watching the Ted series earlier. Ted brought up the only real critique for Jurassic Park. Who has open water cups in their car? That is really funny. I don't know. I mean, that's a good point, you know? But it makes for a great shot, you know? What if that was just a water bottle? That would not have been as fun. I'll tell you that much. Oh, that is really funny. I love that shit. That Ted series is fantastic, by the way. There's a chaotic side of me that wants to just make a review for that on this page. No one would watch it because it's like, Ted's not a slasher. I'm like, listen, I don't care. I want to make content about that, though. I like Scream and Ice Cream is saying Jurassic World Dominion sucked balls. I didn't want a Jurassic World movie about some big locusts. Yeah. No, dude, I'm with you, man. I don't know what the hell they were thinking there. You want to talk about another movie with bad dialogue? The one thing I will give the Jurassic World Dominion, one singular thing that movie got right. They got Ellie and Alan back together. They undid the sins that Jurassic Park 3 committed, and I appreciate that. So you know what? For that one minuscule thing that happened in that movie, I'll allow it. That's not a good enough reason to justify that movie. It's really not. But that part, I was like, okay, Okay, I liked that. I don't know if I really liked anything else that was going on, but I enjoyed that. Chrissy is saying enough reboots. We need the third Saturday in October part 3 or 6. Anyone? Anyone biting on that? I say fuck it. I say give us more original horror movies. Let's start some more franchises, baby. I love that we got Smile, Megan, Barbarian, which is not really a franchise. It's a one-off, but it's great stuff. There's a lot of good stuff out there. A lot of good new stuff out there, especially. So, HMG Loves God is saying, how you doing? Just got back from the gym. Very nice. I gotta get back in there myself, man. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Appreciate you. Coming back from a big lift. Oh yeah. Olaf the Snowman saying, Jake, Olaf. What's up, dog? Welcome in, welcome in. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Eric is saying, Jake, speaking of Felissa, a sleepaway camp watch party would be a blast. Ooh. That's a very good point. I don't know if I can go through all of those movies again. I'm going to be so real. I love the first 3, but that last one, whoa, man, that's a chore to get through that last one. But I'll go through the first 3. I'll do the trilogy. Let's do a little gauntlet of those in a month. I would be very down for that. Sleepaway Camp, they're very underappreciated slasher movies, in my opinion. They are so much fun, very silly movies, but also just so entertaining. I don't know. You want to talk about when characters are so campy to the point that they're so entertaining you can't look away. That is the definition of that franchise. All three of those first couple of movies they're so campy and over the top. It's I can't stop watching this. This is so much fun. Some of the kills are, not bad. It's not the craziest kills I've ever seen in a slasher movie, but it's good stuff. Hang on, everybody. Sorry about that. Had a bit of an unexpected guest there. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Sorry, 30 seconds had to take off there, but we're back. Fort Misery Gaming saying, Jake, did you see Beyond the Mask's new video saying there's a rumor in Scream 7? It'll be the final Scream, considering it probably is going to be a reboot. I don't know, man. I'm just not really one to follow the rumors anymore personally. I've been reporting on rumors for 2 years, and not even half of them have even remotely come true. So I don't know. I'm kind of just done watching stuff like that for me personally, but good for Beyond the Mask. Good. I'm glad that someone's talking about it. Tito is saying, have you ever seen the Lazarus Project? I've seen the Lazarus Effect or Running Scared starring Paul. No, I don't think I've seen that. I would love to see a reaction of these two films. Is it the Lazarus Project? Is that the movie? It's the Lazarus Effect, right? I'm not having some crazy Mandela effect here, am I? Because that's a good movie. Mandela Effect's pretty fun. It's kind of just flatliners, but I don't know. I think it's got some more interesting stuff to it than just that. Very fun stuff. Mellow Mutant Plays is saying, I like Scream and Ice Cream. I don't even remember that much, LMAO. I clicked on the wrong thing, I think. The Fly, oh, there we go. The Fly is one of the remakes in the trifecta. Oh, dude, I so agree. I think that's one of the best remakes ever made. David Cronenberg can do no wrong. You had a huge crush on Gina Davis in The Fly. Totally fair. Entirely fair. Chrissy is saying, I thought Founders Day sucked. I wanted to walk out of the theater if I wasn't reviewing it. Man, I don't know. Not for me. Trayvon King is saying, what do you think about the Wrong Turn franchise? I love them. I think they're all very fun. I don't know if all of them are fun, but very brutal, messed up kills in a lot of these movies. I think the fourth one is insanely underrated, but I'm also a sucker for snowy slashers. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me talking out of my ass. I don't know. There's something about slashers in the snow that just make it so much scarier and cold, like literally and figuratively. Love it. Great stuff. Snowy slashers, make more of them. Come on now. I also think that the Wrong Turn 4 is like a crazy ending too. That's once again underrated. I feel like that movie is very good. Doesn't get talked about enough. But the Wrong Turn remake from 2021 was that 2021. So good. Like my favorite movie of the whole franchise. Hot take. I think that movie was so brutal and higher concepts than the previous like 6 movies or so. That's why I love it so much. I don't know. Excellent movie. Very good stuff. It's a shame that one just totally flew under the radar. In my opinion, one of the most underrated horror movies from the 2020s so far. I would go so far as to say it's in my top 10 for 2021 or 2020's horror flicks thus far. F2 Mez is saying, have you watched Lights Out? And if you have, what are your thoughts? I loved Lights Out. This is one of the first features. This is the first feature from David F. Sandberg, who I love. And he's coming back to horror, thank God, after making those 2 Shazam movies that are, they're movies, He made some money, paid for his healthcare. Pretty good, cool stuff. Good for David. But he's returning to horror. He's making the Dead by Daylight movie, which I think he's an excellent choice for, personally. I loved Lights Out. I loved, what the fuck else did he do? Annabelle Creation, which is super underrated in my opinion. Love that. That's maybe my favorite Conjuring flick out of all 9 of them. So I don't know. For me personally, I really like this one. And a big thing about it, going back to characters, the characters in this one don't suck. A lot of the jump scares and stuff are what you've already seen in The Conjuring, but the characters are so fun to watch and they have interesting relationships with each other. I think it's great. I don't know. So, me personally, I really enjoyed Lights Out. Another, hidden gem, in my opinion, that doesn't get talked about nearly as much as it should. All right, I got to scroll ahead because we got some super chats I want to get to. Thank you so much for the support, Alex19881. Thank you so much for the $10, dude. Really appreciate that. Scream 7 would have had a winter setting if it was being filmed now in Montreal, as there was recently a snowstorm there. It is disheartening that we will not be seeing Ghostface in the snow. Listen, all rumors, first of all, so keep the hope alive. We don't know what's going to happen for this new version of Scream 7, whatever it's going to be. And whatever the old thing was, I don't know. Who knows what it really was? Point being, though, hope is not lost. You know what I mean? Honestly, if they still decide to make this movie, I'm sure they'll carry over some ideas from the past movies, I guess is my point. And one of those things will probably be Ghostface in the snow. People want to see this. Think about this, too. Terrifier 3 is going to be a Christmas horror slasher. Now, while it might not make as many waves as a new Scream film will, in the horror community, everyone knows what Terrifier is. You know what I mean? People who live and breathe horror, they're watching this movie whether they like it or not. So I think that because of that, well, we might even see Scream kind of talk a little bit about Terrifier 3, which would be fun. I want to see, that's something else from Scream 7. I want to see some horror commentary again, man. I missed that in 6. Yeah, we got a little commentary on the past movies, and they kind of ribbed the old ghost faces and made jokes about fan theories. That was fun. I enjoyed it, but I kind of missed what Scream 5 did, where it was here's commentary on requels and elevated horror and all that. I'm okay, interesting stuff. I'm hoping to see that here in Scream 7, with Terrifier being the biggest fucking thing in slasher movies in the longest time. Terrifier 2 was very groundbreaking. I could see Scream 7 kind of fucking around with some of those ideas, kicking that snowball around. See what I did there? Come on. I think that would be fun. And you could do things that are egregiously just, criticisms of the Terrifier flicks. It's you can't just have a clown running around the whole movie killing people. Okay, that's not a movie. You could have Tara talking about that or something. If she comes back, probably not. But goddamn, you got to keep the hope alive, Alex. You got to keep the hope alive that these people might come back. I hope so. I want one more Core 4 movie, man. These characters were just getting good in Scream 6, and now they're all fired. Now they're all gone in the abyss. It's sad. It's crazy how a franchise can fall apart in just a couple of months. 4 months ago, we were making theory videos on this page. We were vibing. We were chilling out. And now look at us. All scared and freaked out and pissed off. It's crazy shit. I can't believe how all that happened. I remember getting that notification about Melissa Barrera and just being what the fuck? Oh my God. This is insane. I was literally in the middle of going to a party and stuff, and I had to stop what I was doing, go make a video. I'm I have to talk about this. This is ridiculous. But I would love to see Winterset Scream 7 though, Alex, without a doubt. I think that would be so much fun. Whoever is the focal character, if it's Sydney, if it's Melissa, if it's somebody new, I'm just down to check it out. I'm down to see what they do with it. Will it be Christmas themed? That's another thing I've thought about a lot. Once again, another rumor, so take this with a grain of salt, was that they were planning to release Scream 7 at the end of the year. So kind of makes you think, okay, maybe it was a Christmas set horror, slasher or something. That could be fun. There has been a lot of those too lately. With It's a Wonderful Knife, Terrifier 3 is coming up. That wouldn't be out of place. Wouldn't be out of place. It's kind of the trending thing. So Scream typically tends to hit on these things, whether it be following suit or making fun. So I think you might have been onto something there, but nothing is confirmed as of right now. It's fun stuff to talk about, though, nonetheless. Alex, thank you so much for the $10, man. I greatly appreciate the support. And I'm hoping Scream 7 just fucking happens. I'm just hoping it happens at this point. Come on, man. Oh, no. Eric from Smells Like Teen Horror, man. Watching this from a hospital bed. Dude, are you okay? Holy crap, man. Send me an update. When you're feeling better, of course. I mean, oh, my God. Take care of what's ever going on. But, dude, hope you're okay, man. I'm so sorry to hear that. Give me an update about that quick. I'm scared. I'm scared over here. Eric is saying Sydney and her family are terrorized at a ski lodge by Ghostface. I mean, hey, like I'm here for these pocket stories, man. You know, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think one of the best ways to approach a sequel to a long-running franchise like this is do pocket stories. Like Saw X is a great example. Just here's this side story that happened in the middle between like Saw and Saw 2, and it was about Ghostface. It wasn't about Ghostface. It was about John Kramer taking down some other people in this world that are pretty nasty. And I think that's great. That was fun. We don't need this big setup to a grand story that influences what we've already seen. Maybe just give us these little pocket stories where it's just Sidney Prescott getting attacked by Ghostface that happens over the course of just a couple of days or something like that. That's all we need. Just a well-executed, simple story. So I'm hoping to see something like that. That would be fun. I had a comment from somebody and I lost it. Axel, what's up, Axel? How's it going? Jake, we're getting robot horror movies. We're getting The Lizard Over. Oh, I love me some lizards. I love me some robot horror movies, and I love me some lizards, Axel. I love it. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for being in the chat. Queric is with us, too, saying, good people, what's cracking? What's crack-a-lackin'? What's up, man? Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, dude. Appreciate you. Sydney likes to exercise, so a ski lodge is fitting. We know she likes to walk around with her kids, you know, in a thing, and yeah. We don't know a whole lot about her family life. We haven't seen a whole bunch of that, but we've seen a little bit. We've seen a little bit of that. I'm excited to find out more. Damn, trying to find a good comment here. Noah is saying a tropical setting in Miami, Florida for Scream 7 where the Court 4 Danny and 2 new legacy characters are on vacation. So that's total opposite of in the snow. You know, we're going tropical setting. I'm not against this either. And honestly, you know what would be a really fun duology is like have one in the snow, then one in a tropical setting, like just completely back to back, completely different settings, different parts of the planet. That could be a lot of fun. I would not be against that at all if they did that for like 7 and 8. I want to get back to talking about Scream theories too. I miss it. I miss talking about theories. I don't know. There hasn't been a whole lot to talk about in the last 4 months, you know, with all the casts not even being attached to it. But you just got to get weirder and more creative with the theories, I guess, because I'm like, you know, I don't want to not talk about that. Eric has given us a bit of an update. I don't know if he wants me to read this or not, but I am worried about my friend. So, ladies and gentlemen, give me just a moment here. Finding out that one of my friends is in the hospital for some reason. I'm terrified here. Oh my God. Yikes. Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, Eric is okay. For those who are concerned, he just messaged me. I imagine he messaged me, to keep this private. But he is doing okay. He's all right. Eric, if you're watching, man, nothing but love to you. I hope you're doing okay. That sounds absolutely awful. I'm so sorry, my friend. So all the love to you, my friend. Hope you're doing okay. Check out his podcast, by the way. It Smells Like Teen Horror. I've done a few episodes with him. It's great stuff. The dude hooks me up with some crazy stuff all the time, and he's a really good guy. It's really good stuff. He makes some great content too. So check him out. Give the guy a watch if you got some time. What else is going on in these comments? You think that Mickey could be alive? Bulletproof vest like Roman and fake blood like Billy? Even the way Mickey fell down when Nancy Loomis shot him looked kind of fake like Billy. That could be fun. Once again, just any character being alive, I feel like it's going to be tough to do that from an older movie versus the previous film. Like, I feel like there's not a whole lot of people that want to see this happen, but I could see something like Ethan being still alive, or Quinn. No, okay, Quinn got shot like literally in the head. I could see like, maybe Ethan still being alive, or some BS like that from Scream 6. Like that, I don't feel like it's too much of a stretch because we don't know where Scream 7 is going to take place in time. It could take place a day after Scream 6 for all we know. So something like that, I think, is just tougher to execute. Like, what's Mickey been doing this whole time? I think a big thing with Scream 2, one of my biggest criticisms of the whole franchise is just the very soap opera writing. And I kind of want us to get away from that, as far away from it as we can, in order not to do too many stretches, too many gaps in logics. I think Scream is very important to be kept in the bounds of reality as much as you possibly can. There are times when that can stretch, of course, to make things more interesting, but it's got to be worth it, So it all comes down to that. Blair Hathaway, do you think Wes Craven would be proud of the last 2 installments? Absolutely. Oh my God, they paid tribute and love to him in Scream 5. And you know why my immediate thought is he would probably love these movies? It's because think about his thoughts on Nightmare on Elm Street from 2010. He was so pissed about that movie because they didn't even consult him, they didn't even talk to him, nothing. That Scream 5, Scream 2022 had, whether you love it, you hate it, whatever, had so much love put into it by some dudes who were clearly fans of his in particular. There's so much thank you and so much attention to detail when it comes to specifically Wes Craven. I think he would love these movies so much. He would be so honored that fans of his would want to make a movie that faithful, that loving to what he created in the past. So I don't want to speak for the dead. I'm not Wes Craven. Nowhere near that level of genius and brilliance. But I think personally he would like these new films, like genuinely, and not just saying that for an interview or talk show or whatever. I also feel the same way about Kevin Williamson. Like, I genuinely think he does like these new movies. Seems like him and the Radio Silence guys are all friends too. There's a bunch of pictures of them out to dinner and hanging out and stuff. So I really think that they're very proud of these last 2 films. Just Scream is saying we are 23 days into 2024 and I'm already losing my mind waiting for Terrifier 3. Dude, me too, man. Oh my God. Listen, we're going to get through this together. We're not almost there. but we're getting closer. We're making it happen. We didn't have a Terrifier film last year. So think about that. It could be worse. We could still be in 2023. We're in the year that Terrifier 3 is supposed to release. So for me, that's enough to get me through personally. But keep holding on, keep waiting, stay patient. I know, trust me, it's tough. But October will come around soon enough. And I can't wait. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be a very good year for horror, I hope. I Love Movies is with us saying Terrifier 3, I can't. And had remembered when I had seen Scream 3 in theaters. The opening scene was different. Cotton got on top of a desk and tried to climb out the window to the roof. What? See, now this is one of those things where I'm like, did you transport to another dimension? Do you have some Mandela effect, or is this something that really happened? Because that's interesting. That would be I would make a whole video on some crazy shit like this. So I'm here for it. I really dig that. I'm curious about this whole story. I Love Movies. The opening scene was different. That's awesome. I feel like I've done that a couple of times at movies. I've gone to see them and then I watch them back and I'm like, why was that not the same? There was something about that I feel like was different. Spider-Man No Way Home was one where I was like, something was different about that on rewatch. I don't know what it was, but something wasn't right there. I like Scream, and Ice Cream is saying best horror threequel of all time. Hopefully will become Terrifier 3. I hope so too. What's the best third movie in a franchise? Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so immediately, ones that come to mind, Saw 3 is up there. Saw 3 is really good, very underrated film. Has some ballsy moves in it too, which a lot of the creatives, a lot of the people behind that one said they regret, but I personally love it. God, I'm trying to think what else really comes to mind. I mean, Halloween 3, but I like Halloween 3 not because it's a Halloween movie. I like Halloween 3 because it's a great standalone. So I don't really know if that one counts. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, no. I'm sorry to my Scream fans, but Scream 3, I'm sorry, no. It's not the best of all time. Scream 3 is fun, but it's best of all time. I don't know. Damn. I really can't think of anything that tops Saw 3 at the moment. I'm going to be completely real. Like just running through as many threes as I can. Friday Part 3 is fine. Nightmare Part 3 is one of the best sequels, but I don't know, best third film in a horror franchise of all time? I don't know about that. Ah, man. Would Conjuring 2 technically count? Because of Annabelle? I don't think so, but maybe. It literally has 2 in the name, so I'm going to say no. As of right now, I'm going to go with Saw 3. I think Saw 3 is probably the strongest one I can think of off the top of my head. So we're going with that. I really like Child's Play 3. I know I'm in the minority about that, but I think Child's Play 3 is a lot of fun. It's also brutal. It's got some like the most dark shit in that whole franchise, in my opinion. I really like that one. I don't know. Child's Play 3 gets too much hate, I think. Eric is saying, who else was amazed at how easy it was for Quinn to take out Gail's jacked up boyfriend? I mean, we didn't even meet the guy. That's what I'm thinking about. Her and Amber must have been had the same workout regimen. We didn't even meet the guy. I don't care. I don't care about the guy. I was like, I think if we would have met the character and then, maybe a little more of that, like we knew more about the guy, we cared about him, and then he got a kill like that, I'd be a little more upset. But like, I didn't care. It was like, we just needed to get that guy out of there so that Quinn and Gale Ghostface and Gale could have a whole chase and fight, I just didn't know that we never met him. We never met this dude, this random stranger that was in Gale Weathers' house. I'm kidding. He wasn't a stranger. You know what I mean? I'm joking. But I don't know. It was kind of weird that we never got like a scene introducing him to us or nothing. I almost kind of wish that like after the opening scene, we had gotten a scene with Gale where it was like her on her talk show or whatever. And then maybe she meets up with this boyfriend, potentially new fiance character. I don't know. Something, you know what I mean? Like, just to set that up a little more. And then you could have made that death a little more emotional. Like, no, Gale finally moved on. And then now nothing. But no, we did not get that. Would have liked something there. What else is going on? I Love Movies is saying, getting an update on that Scream 3 thing. I'm serious, and look it up on here. Scream 3 deleted scenes. It's a lot of them. Felt like they should have kept a few. Oh my God, have I watched the Scream 3 deleted scenes? I don't know if I feel like I've watched those before. I know I've seen this, the Scream 4 deleted scenes. Those are burned in my brain because some of those are like, why didn't they use those? Man, I don't know why. Just off the top of my head, I can't think of any of the Scream 3 deleted scenes. I'm going to look into that. I'm going to check that out. Oh, Chrissy is saying X or Terrifier. This will have to be some of the slasher movies that pop up on the Versus video, Versus series. I didn't even think about X or Pearl. I'll have to throw those up on there. That'll be a fun video. X or Terrifier, like if we're talking the first Terrifier, I think I would probably put X over that one. The character work in X is like second to almost nothing. I don't know. I love it. I think the characters in X are one of its strongest features, on top of some brutal kills and some great moments. It's very well written, in my opinion, too. I don't know. X like just does it for me, man. That was such a great, big standout horror flick in 2022 that I had such a good time with. I remember all the A24 fanatics were like, it's just a slasher movie. And I'm like, yeah, like what were you expecting? That's so funny. It was a really funny criticism, I thought. It's just the slasher movie with old people. What? Scream is saying, have you had a nightmare where Art chased you? Because I did. Oh shit, here we go. He chased me in a school and I was locked in a classroom while we tried to get in worst nightmare I've ever had. Luckily, when he started, I woke up. I need to take a sip of water, but that's horrifying. I've never had an Art the Clown nightmare. I have so many nightmares about zombies, though, and I don't know. Something about zombies scares the fuck out of me. Like if I watch a zombie movie before bed, I can't sleep. I don't know. There's something about them. They're the scariest fucking things to me. Like just like 100 undead beings that you can't reason with, just running at you and cornering you and possibly eating you alive. That terrifies me. Rightly so, but like it really terrifies me. I don't know. Like that to me is the scariest thing that could possibly happen. Fuck that. No way. Like I don't want Art the Clown anywhere near me. But man, I don't know. Zombies, like I have had multiple nightmares about zombies for some reason. Scares the hell out of me. That's really interesting though. Art the Clown chasing you around a school. I don't even know what's going on with that. I'm not going to say that. I feel like that's gonna get me into some murky waters there. What's up? How's it going, my friend? Yeah. I'm so excited to be talking horror. What's up? What's up? Welcome in. Welcome in. I appreciate you. Greg Bruckner is saying, hello, Killjoy Jake. Your least favorite ghost face has arrived. You didn't get any kills, my friend. I don't know what to tell you. You got chopped up. You got placed in a fridge. I don't know what to do better next time. I'm so kidding. Welcome in, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with us. You're not my least favorite. I promise. Not in my heart, at the very least. Eric Cartman is saying, do you like the It novel? I saw an interesting theory on Reddit that Welcome to Derry could secretly be a re-adaptation of the book. Could explain why they are keeping the plot under wraps. I did. I was very confused by a lot of it, I think. I think. Yeah, that's how confused I was. I don't know. Some of it was like, I don't know what is happening right now, like especially towards the ending. And I can imagine that's why It Chapter 2 turned out the way that it did, because it's just like, what the fuck was going on, Steven? It's a weird novel. It's got a lot of greatness to it, but it's got a lot of like, okay, I don't know. I've never seen this before in something. It's very original. I'll give them that, but there's a lot of it where I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what kind of drugs Stephen King was on during this time period, but they must have been good. That's all I'm saying. I got to read it again. It's been a long time. Madison knows that I have so many books on my shelf that I just have not had time to read. What's up? How's it going, Madison? How's it going? How's it going? I hope you guys are having fun playing games and shit. You got to kick my ass into reading some books, okay? Because, god damn it, I have like 6 books over there that I just have not had the time to read. Oh, gotta get back into reading, man. I wish I could just spend like 6 hours reading a book. I don't have the time. I've been editing since like 10 a.m. this morning, and then I've been on live streams since then. So it's just that's my day. I don't have time to read anymore. It's crazy stuff. Jason Dyer, thank you for the $5, man. I really appreciate the support. Saying, do you think the saxophone player on The Lost Boys was a vampire who loved his music more than being a vampire? Alligator rules. That is really funny, dude. The saxophone player on The Lost Boys. Dude, I love that movie. We just watched it recently. With Madison and some of our other buddies. I love this movie to death. I think it is so much fun. It is one of the best like romantic vampire movies in my opinion. I don't know. It's just to me this feels like the Scream of vampire films, because it's kind of like it made vampires like kind of cool and like and sexy again. And I mean that as literally as possible. I don't know what to tell you. If Bela Lugosi isn't attractive to you, I don't know what to tell you. No, I'm kidding. But I love that movie to death. That's really funny. I've never even thought about that. And Jason Dyer, we got to plug this movie. And you know what, Jason? I'm going to announce this right now. I don't give a shit. I'm committing to it off the cuff on this live stream. We're doing an alligator watch party, Jason. It's happening as soon as it gets warmer outside, because once again, this is a summer movie. This is a summer horror movie. So as it gets warmer outside, maybe in like April or May, we'll watch the alligator films. I will die on this hill, but Alligator from 1980 is like one of my favorite B movies of all time. I think it is so much fun. It's so goofy and ridiculous. And me and Jason, we both share a love for it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen it, you got to check it out. And if you need an excuse to watch it, well, we got something exciting coming up on the watch party lists for Wednesday, that is. James Leclerc is with us tonight, too. What's up, James? How's it going? Imagine if we get Malignant 2 now that Aquamarine came out. I honestly doubt it, but that would be cool, though. Not sure what James Wan is up to, or maybe new Conjuring, but I guess he's a busy guy. He just released a movie last December, which I did not see. I had no interest in Aquaman 2. I'm sorry. I love James Wan to death. I've seen like every movie of his in the theaters opening night. This was like one of the first ones that I skipped. I just didn't go see it. I'm sorry. I love James Wan so much, but I just do not care about Aquaman 2. I'm sorry. Jason Momoa is awesome, but I don't know. Those movies just really were not for me. I saw the first one when that came out, like on Christmas Day, and I was just so like, what is happening? What is going on in this movie? Oh, man. But I do want to see James Wan return to horror again. As we know from the beginning of this year, Blumhouse and Atomic Monster, his company, just merged together to start making more horror flicks together. So that's very interesting to me. I'm excited to see where all that goes. I'm with you, James, though. I hope we get a Malignant 2. I hope we get just more horror flicks from the dude. Dude knows what he's doing when it comes to just horror in general. He's made a lot of bangers. Ty Lee is saying watch party for X and Pearl days before Maxine. Yeah. Actually, the 2 weeks leading up to X and... the 2 weeks leading up to Maxine, yeah, we'll do X and Pearl for sure. Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt. You guys are just pitching so many good ideas. I get so like down in the dumps about video ideas because I'm like, I don't think this is going to work. No one's going to watch this. And then you guys, I just come on here, I pitch some crazy shit to you guys, and you throw even better ideas at me. I love it. I'm very thankful. This is a democracy around here. Democratic dictatorship. Let's call it that. But Ty Lee, great idea. We're adopting that one. I'm stealing it. No, I appreciate it. Great suggestion overall. Infinite Sky is with us too. I don't think I've said hello to you yet. Hello to the sky, which is infinite. How long before Jason got killed do you think Greg got chopped up? Oh, that's actually a great question. I feel like he probably saw him earlier in the day, and the Kirsch family was probably stalking them for a little while, knew about their whereabouts and all that. So I imagine it probably happened like maybe a little while before, Jason was getting a kill himself. I imagine maybe around the same time, Well, hang on. We got to think about this because this dude was chopped up and put in the fridge. So there was a mess wherever it happened. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he got kidnapped by the Kirsch family and they chopped him up into little bits. I would love to see that. Oh my God. I would love to see that in a deleted scene for Scream 6. That would be fun. But I imagine it probably happened at a separate location, and then they, snuck into his place, and then, threw his parts in there. That's my thoughts. Probably the same day. They looked fresh, too, from what we saw. Personally, Jake, Jason, and Greg are my all-time favorite Ghostface killers. I got to be honest with you. I really think they're moving higher up on my list. The more I watch Scream 6, the more I'm like, dude, Tony Revolori's performance here is so good. And you guys some of y'all are not going to be happy with this, but I really think one of the most disturbing scenes in the whole 6 movies is that opening scene where he's just talking about how excited he was to kill somebody and how like she was less and less as the blade went in. It was like she was an animal or something. That is, so gross, so sociopathic. I love it. So Jason has also moved up my list a lot. And I also just think about my rule of thumb with the ghost faces. A lot of them are cowards. And are Jason and Greg not that? They're total failures and they're cowards. Like they totally fit the ghost face MO. So I ranked them very low in the past. I got to do a new video where I'm ranking them again because honestly, Jason is way higher up on my list and I almost hate to admit how high up on my list he is. So I'm excited. It's going to be fun. Scream it said, I've had a lot of zombie dreams. They're so scary, but honestly, TBH, they're kind of fun. I have a lot of fun in zombie dreams. You know what? You just like to get ripped apart by zombies in your dreams. That's okay. Listen, that's all right. I don't though. It always happens the same way for me too. I'm in a warehouse somewhere. I can feel danger. I can hear footsteps racing towards me. And then all these zombies like race in through like an opening or something. And I just get cornered in the back. It's the same thing every time. And I'm just as terrified and sweaty when I wake up. Leo is with us tonight too, saying Salem's Lot remake this year. Hopefully. Oh, you got to hope, man. I mean, Jesus, nothing like no updates on this. Not a, we're going to dump it on a streaming service. No, nothing. What? Come on. We got to get something from Salem's Lot. I want to see this. That original is so good. I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's going to be good with all the things we've heard about it, but I hope it is. Who knows? Fingers crossed, my friends. Fingers crossed. Ethan the Goat is saying, Jake, I have an awesome night planned. Awesome. I have a family-sized bag of Oreos, and I'm watching the new Hunger Games movie for the 5th time. Very nice. Oh, yeah, and I have animal crackers. I'm hyped. Dude, it sounds like you're going to have a fucking killer night. Let me tell you. The new Hunger Games movie was bad fucking ass, man. I enjoyed it so much. Way more than I thought I was going to. Because, I like the Hunger Games. They're fun movies, but I don't know. I've just never had a never had the biggest urge to rewatch them too many more times. I enjoyed them in the theaters when I saw them, and I was like, okay, cool, good stuff. Got to see this one though, and fucking awesome. Like an absolute banger. I love movies that focus on the villain too. Or watching someone slowly fall into that. Those are my favorite kinds of movies. And this was kind of that in a very, like, I kind of wasn't expecting that. I didn't know a whole lot about it going into it. And I was just kind of blown away. I was like, whoa, this is really unexpectedly good. Not that I was going into it with bad connotations. I was just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be good or not. It's the fifth Hunger Games, you know what I mean? Where it's a prequel, like the story's kind of over now. There's not as much excitement, but no, I loved it. I thought it was great. Corbin Brug? I don't know. What's up, Corbin? How's it going? Bro, I can't imagine how fucked up Terrifier 3 might be. Like, goodness gracious. I love how you said fucked up earlier, but then you said goodness gracious. Very funny. I can't see the bedroom scene being topped. I can't believe how brutal this is going to be. Can't wait for it. Honestly, me too. I don't know how they're going to top the bedroom scene. I really don't. I mean, I think there's a way. There is a certain way to do it that I have talked about on this page before. Some people don't want to hear it though. Some people are like, no, Art the Clown is not doing that shit. That's a step too far. But I will always defend horror that takes a step too far, because some of those movies are some of the greatest horror flicks of all time. The ones that have taken a step too far at the time. Right? Like The Exorcist took a step too far. And guess what? 50 years later, we're still talking about it. There's a reason for that. So I'm always going to defend movies that maybe cross a line, because sometimes horror needs to do that, like The Exorcist. I would even say movies like The Blair Witch Project kind of cross a line for saying that, for paying so much attention to detail and saying like, this is real, this is something that really happened. That's kind of crossing a line in, 1999, I think. And however you feel about the film, I'm personally not crazy about it. It's one of the most important horror flicks ever made. Hot take. I don't think that's really a hot take, but it's an important flick. So for me, if Terrifier 3 is going to cross a certain line and kill a certain type of character, maybe that's something that needs to happen. And maybe it's something 50 years from now we're all still going to be talking about. Love it or hate it. I mean, honestly, if people aren't throwing up because of your movie, are you really making history with it? Probably not. That's what I say. Are you really doing something that means something that will stick out in the history books years later? If people aren't pooping and throwing up in the movie theater watching your film, that's what I say. But I'm excited for Terrifier 2, man. It's going to be great. Madison, speaking of which, you got to watch Terrifier 2. I showed her the bedroom scene. She has not seen the whole thing though. I think was it? I can't remember if it was New Year's or not, but there was like one night where I was like, you guys got to see this scene in Terrifier 2. It's so good. It's just like the most, it's the most ridiculous. I love it. I love that scene so much. But Madison is also talking about the Hunger Games, saying it's so good. So good. Like, really enjoyed that one. Big surprise, in my opinion. I had a great time with that movie. Malevolence is incredibly underrated. I remember this one, though not as much as the third Saturday in October. I'm going to be honest. I have not seen that other one that you're talking about. That's why, Chrissy, I'm so sorry earlier. I was just like, anyone got anything to say about this one? I've never seen it, but Malevolence I have seen a long time ago. Not bad. I was kind of like, oh, interesting little movie. Isn't there like 3 of those? I've definitely only seen the first one, but hang on now. Oh, wait, maybe I'm thinking of a different movie. Oh, no, I'm not. No, this is the Netflix movie. Yeah, no. Malevolence is the one I have seen. Okay, sick. I might have to do a rewatch of that one. That one was fun. Mellow Mutant is saying, I like how Maxine has 3 X's in it, so people know it's the third movie. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Madison is saying streaming games. I know. I got to just do it. We've been playing a lot of Call of Duty lately. I would absolutely love to stream some Call of Duty, but I don't think anyone on here would watch it. I'll do it on my other page though. Maybe that might be fun. Or Dead by Daylight, of course. That could be fun too. Jess is also hanging out with us. What's up, Jess? Jess saying hi, Jake Pookie. What's up, Jess? How's it going? Welcome in. Appreciate you for stopping by. Thanks for saying hey. Oh, God. So excited for Maxine, Jason. Any word on the film? Nothing crazy as of late. If you want to see the latest update, I talked about it on my second page. Talking a little bit about some drama. Mia Goth allegedly kicked somebody in the fucking head during filming of this movie. Allegedly. Once again, no proof one way or the other. It's something that apparently happened, though. Maybe, maybe not. So check that out. I kind of talk a bit about what we learned about the movie through that pending lawsuit. There's a lot to learn, surprisingly enough, so it was interesting. Victor Cruz is with us tonight saying, "What's up? What's up, my friend? How's it going? Welcome in, welcome in." Push the envelope, Art. I'm with you, dude. Push it. See how far this crazy shit can go. You're going to make your grandmother watch Terrifier 2? Don't do that. There are some people whose lines don't need to be crossed. But us horror fans, a lot of us are down for it, so. Rotting Prince is with us tonight, too. What's up, Rotting Prince? Saying I rewatched Blair Witch a few weeks ago while I was working on art. I had some spooky-ass dreams. Such a classic. Hell yeah, dog. For me, I don't know. I just can't get into it. I really wish I could travel back in time to, 1998 and be, this version of myself and not the infant child that I was. I would love to just buy into that and be like, there's no way. There's no way they're going to show this in the theater, and then watch it for myself, have that experience, and love the movie. But I feel like because I didn't have that experience, that's why I'm just not crazy about it. I think if I had been fooled into thinking all of that was real, oh my God, I think I would have loved the movie. I would have been like, this is so fucked up. No way did they just show what is essentially murders in the theater. That's terrifying. Holy fuck. I would have been blown away by something as messed up as that. But I don't know. For me, it's just three people screaming in the woods, which I've heard from many people. They're like, dude, that's your worst horror take. And I'm like, it probably is. It probably is a really bad take. But I don't know. I can't get into it. It's just not for me, man. And it's like a horror classic, too. That's what really bugs me about it. I want to love that movie. I've watched it more times than I'm willing to admit because I'm just not a fan of it, but I want to like it. I really do. But it is three people screaming at each other in the woods. I don't know. It makes me mad that I don't. I'm actually mad at myself that I don't like it. So if you're hearing this right now and you're like, God, he just doesn't appreciate a classic. I know I don't. And I hate, want to fix that. I don't know. I want to like it, but I just don't. What Evil Lurks might be more violent. I don't know if it was more violent than the Terrifier flicks. It was brutal though. When Evil Lurks was very brutal. But you said not as I read that wrong. Sorry. I thought you said it's more violent than Terrifier and might even be more violent than Terrifier 2. Yeah. I don't know if it's more violent than Terrifier 2. But When Evil Lurks, super brutal. If you have not seen it, very underrated horror flick from last year. Honest to God, maybe one of the most messed up things I saw in a horror flick from 2023. Without a doubt. And if you guys have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Don't spoil it for the rest of the people in the chat. You don't want that spoiled. My God. All I'm going to say is good boy. That's all I'm going to say. Good boy. Someone's talking about Driller Killer in the chat. Hang on. Can we go back a minute here? I got to see this. I will talk about that crazy dumb movie. Chrissy's asking about the Driller Killer. The Driller Killer is insane. This is such a whack weird movie, and I love whack weird movies all day long. This is a movie, I believe, that came out in 1979. So post-Halloween, pre-Friday the 13th, there's not too many slashers in that category. But I will tell you that the ones that I have seen from that year specifically are weird. It's like they didn't have the slasher format quite down yet until the 80s came around. And it's really interesting to watch. A lot of those movies are very interesting to me. But I love Driller Killer. I think it's a very interesting movie, especially in the way that it flows. It's worth the watch. I think some people might watch this one and say it's slow, but I don't know. Give it a watch. Once you get into it, it makes, it starts to go. Jason Carpenter's asking the real questions here. Who you rooting for to win in the Super Bowl? So I'm not going to lie. The Bucs-Lions game, I was rooting for both teams. I wanted both to go. I'm a huge Baker Mayfield guy since I'm a Browns fan, and he took us to the divisional round a couple years ago, which was awesome. Kicked the shit out of the Steelers, which made old Jake pretty happy. But we traded him for some reason. Still not really sure about that. And I kind of wanted to see Baker go to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to lie. But while I'm sad that he lost, I am happy for the Lions, who, once again, as a Browns fan, I'm fans of the underdog teams. So I feel the pain that Detroit has by never having a Super Bowl appearance. So now they have a chance at that if they win this next game. So I'm rooting for the Lions at this point. They're the only team that's currently in the running that I still want to root for. Big FU to the Ravens. Sorry, not a fan. AFC North. AFC North is not going to the Super Bowl, man. It can't happen, although it probably will. I'm going to be so mad if they go to the Super Bowl, but I want the Lions to go and I want the Lions to win. That's who I'm rooting for right now. So to my neighboring friends up north in Michigan, I hope you guys win it all. I really do. And I'm hoping that you guys root for us when we finally make it, because it's going to happen. The Browns are going. It's going to happen eventually. God damn it. Justin, you're cracking me up, man. No, Jake, it's one of your best horror takes that I hate the Blair Witch Project. Oh my God. Blair Witch was boring. I'm with you, Jake. Yeah, I feel like, but here's the thing though. Like if I would have saw that in 1999 when it came out, I said 98 earlier, but you guys know what I mean. If I saw it when I was younger or like in that time period, I bet I would have loved it. But because, I saw it in I think I saw it for the first time in 2015. I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me, man. I wish it did. It makes me sad. But Ty, I'm with you too. That 2016 movie or whatever, that's my favorite one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's objectively a bad take, but it's my take. But it's mine. I will defend it. Me as a kid thinking Blair Witch was real is why it's ingrained in my mind as scary. There you go. I watched it at too late of an age. I fucked up. Mellow Mutant Plays. Should have watched it much earlier in life. Justin is saying if the Lions win, it'll be the first Super Bowl. Yes, it will be their first Super Bowl win. Bengals were screwed over twice. Yeah, fair. I hope the Taylor Swift team loses. Yeah, we're not rooting for KC this year. Sorry. It's not because of Taylor Swift. It's more because of Patrick Mahomes, but that's a whole other conversation that my horror fam here may not care for. Anyways, El Dante, thank you so much for the support, my friend. I appreciate that. Saying always loved dream-based concepts in movies. Imagine if those in power could manipulate our dreams to control us. Best wishes to you. Great show. Thank you so much, El Dante. I appreciate that. I think a good, like a good dream scene or something in a movie can really stand out. You can do some really just crazy shit where you're bending the rules. Honestly, I think that's why I was so insistent about it with Red Right Hand. I was just like, we can see, here's the thing, Scream has to take place in reality, but if it's a dream, we can do some fucked up fantastical shit. That was my thought process there. So I'm so with you, man. I think horror movies where you have that fantastical bullshit going on, I love movies like that. That's why I love Nightmare on Elm Street, Terrifier. That's why I love these movies so much. She's got this total crazy bullshit going on. That's what the hell's going on? Oh my God. I love stuff like that. I love things that just leave you dumbfounded, with your jaw agape. What am I even looking at right now? So I'm with you, dude. I mean, the idea of messing with dreams I've read I feel like there's a movie about this. I just can't remember it off the top of my head, about the idea of advertising in your dreams. So it's companies can put their ads in while you're having a dream about something. That's so messed up, man. And it feels all too real to do something like that. I would love to do a movie with that concept. That'd be a lot of fun. El Dante, though, thank you so much for the support, my friend. I really appreciate that. I believe that's £5, if I'm remembering correctly. Symbols get all fuzzy up in Jake's brain, but I do appreciate it, my friend. Thanks for the support. It means a whole lot to me. Justin saying, seriously, Jake, it's not a bad take. It's just your opinion, and it just so happens to be correct. That's really funny, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna get. I've said my piece about the film. Those are just my thoughts. Just my potentially bad thoughts. Maybe not on the film. Mr. Rick is saying, you should have watched it when you were a baby. What's wrong with you? You call yourself a horror fan, and I think it's really funny that Mr. Rick said I'm a hard lover. I do call myself that too, though. Anyways, yeah, I know. I mean, I can't believe that that 1-year-old Jake didn't watch Blair Witch in theaters. God. Gonna give myself 15 lashes for that. I'm kidding. I'm so kidding. Joking. Just a joke. Eric Z is saying in 1999, Blair Witch was marketed as real footage, and that's why a lot of people probably love it. I can't argue with that. I bet that's fucking awesome. I wish I could have been there. Once again. All right, we talked a lot about Blair Witch. Let's move on. Riley Rage is saying, question. You're getting excited with that question. I love it. Do you think the core 4 overrides the Carpenter sisters? Are all 4 required to return, or could you just say, or say just Sam returns in a Sydney-focused Scream 7? That's really tough. Because I feel like after Scream 5, you could have just interchangeably brought back certain characters. But the core 4 is a unit, dude. I mean, the core 4 is a unit at this point. I can't see why you would have them all split up besides bullshit behind the scenes stuff. So for me, if they only brought back a certain number of people, I think the whole time that they would be talking about like why the other characters aren't there, all that I personally would be thinking about is it's because y'all fucked over some people that they're not here, and you had to write some bullshit in to write them out. So I don't know. I think it's so easy to just say like on paper, oh, we could just bring back this character, and put a focus on them for whatever reason. But it's just, I don't think it's going to work unless you have a really good reason to write the other characters out, which me personally, I guess I'm not seeing. Unless anyone has some suggestions, if anyone's got something they want to throw in the chat. But I don't know. I just, here's what I imagine, right? Here, when people pitch this to me, it's like, what if, let's say, what if Mindy just comes back, right? Mindy and Chad, just to make this a little easier. And they're talking with Gail and Sydney, and they're like, we're Sam and Tara. And it's like, oh, they had to stay in New York. They were busy with college. I'd be like, no, they're not. No, they're not busy with college. Y'all just kicked them out of the goddamn movie. That's I don't know. That's all that would be going through my brain at least. I imagine the general audience would just be like, oh, it sucks they're not in this, you know? But I don't know. I would hope that they don't go that route. If the core 4 comes back, it's got to be all 4, in my opinion. Unless you kill one of them in the movie, which then it's like, okay, well now it's the core 3. But I don't know. I really don't think so. I don't think that would work. Even with the Carpenter sisters too, if it was the reversal of that, I would be like, that sucks. Like, no, I want to see Mindy and Chad. Where are they? What are they up to? They work better as a unit, I think, personally. It's a lot more fun. Core 4. Noah Atkinson is saying, hey, Jake, please hear me out. Give Marvel Studios a chance. Deadpool 3 is going to save the MCU. Also, get ready for my next comments. Oh, shit, Noah. Noah is always hyping up his next comment. It better be some heat. That's all I'm saying. Deadpool 3, I'm honestly looking forward to. I kind of hate saying that because Marvel has vastly disappointed me in the last couple of years, but I think Deadpool 3 could be good. I really do have faith in it. But I don't know. Honestly, it's one of those things where I'm like, this is another instance where here's a movie that's under the new umbrella. Will it work? Will it rock? Will it suck? I hope not. I really, those first 2 Deadpool movies, very fun, very fun little comedy action flicks. I love them to death. I think they're a lot of fun. I put them on from time to time. Really well done stories too in both of those movies. I think some people just look at those movies and they're like, okay, it's just, R-rated superheroes being silly and dumb. But I don't know. I really like the stories in those movies. They're very emotional, very well done. Mr. Rick said I meant to say horror fan. I know, man. I'm just messing with you a bit. I'm just kidding around. Chrissy is saying not that there's anything wrong with supernatural killers. Chrissy is saying I used to love supernatural killers the most, but I've started to gravitate more to realistic killers recently. I've even thought of rebooting an old script to make the killer less supernatural. I think both are great for totally different reasons, I was talking about that shock factor about supernatural horror that you just don't get with a realistic killer. But then also with a realistic killer, you might inspire fear a little more than something like Freddy Krueger. Because something like The Strangers could really happen. Something like Freddy Krueger probably hasn't or never will happen. Or I don't know. I mean, listen, maybe someone invents the power to intercept someone's dream and they just happen to be a serial killer too. You never know. But point being, there is definitely pros and cons to both, without a doubt, Chrissy. So I totally understand where you're coming from. Because like me personally, I think if you want to make something that's scary, do something that's realistic. If you want to make something that's a little more fun and a little more like what the fuck or gross or whatever, go the supernatural route. It just depends on what you're going for, you know? I'm currently writing something supernatural and grounded in reality at different points in time. So I think that's fun. I think both are very fun. I've been doing a lot of supernatural stuff lately. So I was like, okay, I got to do something actually grounded, a little more scary. Landon is saying, bro, I'm still not okay with Scream 7. I don't think anybody is. Landon, I don't think anybody's okay with Scream 7 at this point in time. No one's happy about what's happened. It fucking blows. It sucks balls. I miss our characters already. And, you know, they haven't even been gone that long. And I'm still just like, damn, fucking blows. And I think the biggest thing that sucks about it, too, is like, you got Halloween to do 3 movies. And however you feel about Halloween Ends, like, they got to do 3 movies with those characters. And that to me is like, okay, well, we fulfilled the story here. And while a lot of people are looking back on 6 and saying that's a nice ending for Sam Carpenter and Tara, I still think they deserve that 3rd movie, man. They're good enough characters for that. And me personally, considering what they did to Andy Matichak's character in Halloween Ends, I'm starting to think that I like Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, these characters, even better than the Halloween characters, just because I don't know, they just kind of decided to stop writing those stories in the 3rd entry. So I think Scream 7 could have been something great, but who knows what it's going to be now. I don't know. I want it to be good, though. I want whatever comes next to be good, and I'm going to look at, you know, I'm still going to watch it, whatever it is. I know some people are already like, I'm boycotting it, I'm not watching it. People were saying that about Scream 6, though, and, you know, everyone still ended up watching that movie, so I don't know. I'm excited to see what comes from it. I hope it's good. God, I got my fingers crossed that it's good, but I just have some bad feelings in my bones and my gut saying that it's not going to be good. Riley Rage is saying, I only see a Sam return, but I agree. Corp 4 is now its own superhero unit, for better or worse. Yeah, I mean, I can, in the realm of, you know, what's realistic, I'm with you, Riley. Like, I feel like maybe one person will return for the next movie or something crazy like that, but I don't know. I don't know if it's actually going to happen or not. I hope so. I mean, I imagine, like, just imagining what like Spyglass is probably up to right now is they're probably begging on their hands and knees for Sydney, for Sydney to come back, for Neve Campbell to, you know, strike some kind of deal with them. We'll just have to see. Fingers crossed, man. We get an update on that soon. I need something. Chrissy is saying Deadpool 2 is a 10 out of 10. Very nice. Marley Kai is saying I only watched the MCU for Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch. Entirely fair. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, while I wasn't like, it's not a perfect movie, I still had a really good time with it. It was a lot of fun. And Elizabeth Olsen gives a great performance, so there's that. Smells Like Teen Horror is saying the first Paranormal Activity is better than the Blair Witch Project. I'm with you there. I really like the first Paranormal Activity. I watched this with my nephew like a couple of months ago, and dude I actually can't say it on the air because he didn't know what he was saying, but he dropped the hardest bar, like the funniest thing I have ever heard a human being say about a character in a horror movie, and it sent me into a fit of laughter. But like I said, I can't repeat it on here. I'll get in trouble. I will most likely get in trouble. Oh, do I get to get off soon? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, something else I want to pitch is that I'm going over to Craven Something Scary's page after this stream is over, and we're going to be talking about Scream 7 a bit more. How about them apples? That is at 10:30 tonight. That is today, right? The 22nd? Yeah. Okay, so 10:30 tonight, I'm going over to Craven Something Scary's page. I'll probably be streaming until then. We're going for a long one tonight. And we're just going to talk Scream 7 theories, see if it's going to be good or not, once again. Pitch some ideas back and forth, so I'm excited for that. I was just checking the time because I did not know when he was going to go live, but I'm probably going to go for I'll probably go for another hour. Why not? Why not? Eric is saying Scream 7 in space. It's that time. Is it time to jump the shark yet? Is it time to do that? I mean, honestly, maybe, I don't know, but oh man, when that happens, you know it's over. The dream is over at that point, right? Scream and Ice Cream is saying, what if the killer in Scream 7 was the actor of Charlie Walker and his motive was being so low on people's Ghostface list since 2011? Maybe Ethan's actor could have a similar motive. You're stepping into some really interesting territory here, though. The idea of some of the actors who have been in the Stab films potentially becoming Ghostface killers. I love that. I actually think that would be so cool. And something that's been set up in 5 and 6 now is that fans hated Stab 8. So, I mean, who starred in Stab 8? Who was under the direction of Rian Johnson that might want to go knife happy and start stabbing people? I'd be down to see something like that. That might be fun. And it's different than Roman, too. You know, like Roman, sure, was the director of Stab 3, but his motive hardly has anything to do with that. Just the idea that he's in Hollywood. That's really it. And, you know, Sidney's secret brother. But, you know, we don't need to talk about that soap opera twist. Point being, if someone like from the Stab film started killing people because it's like, you ruined my career with this dumb movie or something, and he blames, I don't know, so maybe the rest of the cast. Once again, my brain is working in the realm of what if Scream 7 is going to be a reboot with all new characters? This is a route that could go. That could be fun, actually. I kind of don't hate that. Interesting stuff. You're stepping into some interesting territory, like I said there. I like that. Let's not bring up Halloween Ends again. I'm sorry, Justin. I bring it up all the time. I'll stop. We're done talking about it here after I say this next point. But like, there's just so many things about that movie where I'm like, this is exactly why I'm not crazy. I'm crazy about some horror films. You know, Halloween Ends unfortunately hits on a lot of those things. A lot of my pet peeves for movies just in general. Which is why I think I especially don't like it and why I bring it up all the time and drag it through the mud. So I apologize to fans. I know Jason Carpenter is our local Halloween Ends fan, and I appreciate you, Jason. I appreciate you representing a horror movie around these parts. Me personally, it's got a lot of my pet peeves, which is why that's why I bring it up. It's not just because I hate this movie, I swear. It's really more just because it's like, this is something I don't like about modern horror films. Here's another thing, and here's another thing. So just my take. If you love it, I respect it, but just my thoughts. Jump Scare TV is with us saying Art the Clown would get pieced up by what? Oh, are we talking about this thing from earlier about MMA fighters going up against Art the Clown? I think Art the Clown would probably kill most people. I brought this up in my video today. Art the Clown plays dirty. You know, he might have a scalpel in his back pocket or something and start slitting throats. And it's like, Art, come on, you're not supposed to kill anybody in the ring. Come on, man. Dude, they're all just disappointed in him. What the heck, man? I'm game for a Scream 5.5, a Sydney-focused Scream 7 that takes place after 5 leading into the end of 6 from Sydney's perspective. I wouldn't hate that either. And, you know, something else that would work about that, Riley, is like all we know about Sydney from that movie is that she's just in a cabin somewhere. That's all we know. And something else that was introduced in Scream 6 is that there's multiple ghost faces out there at the same time. So who else might be donning the costume and robe at this time and place? I would be excited to find out, and maybe they're already going after Sydney. Ooh. I'm very into that though. I think Riley, that's a great idea. So I'm all about that. Corey Cunningham is a flat out a good character. You can have that opinion. That's all good. That's you can have that opinion. I will. That is so fine. Eric is saying, ever notice Tatum is never mentioned by Dewey or Sydney ever again after the original? There's an urn for her in Scream 5, but other than that, nothing. Tatum's back to defend her own honor. Yeah, actually, didn't that come from what did that come from? Wasn't there some kind of criticism about Screams like 2, 3, and 4 that Dewey never said anything about that, so that's why they put it in 5? I feel like that was part of that, but I might just be coming up with that out of my ass. I don't know. But I do remember there was some kind of weird motivation to specifically put that in 5, because it's like, we got to have Dewey reflect on this a little bit. We got to do something with this. once again, if you hate Scream 5, I totally get it. It's not the same feel as the older movies, but for me, the attention to detail is like fucking incredible throughout that movie. The more I watch it, the more I'm just like, there's so much to grab and catch on to here. And it's even crazier in Scream 6. So I don't know. I love little things like that. That's so hard to do, especially in a big blockbuster like that. So I don't know. Great stuff. Set design and editing and all these little things, I mean, it's an art form. Some people want to say it's not. And mixing audio too is something me and my brother talk about a lot. He is an engineer. Like he's in college to do all that. And he talks about like sound mixing nowadays. And he's like, everyone just does it the exact same way so that everything sounds the same and sounds, objectively good, so to say. But back in the day, they used to, mix things weird. Like the Beatles, like old Beatles is mixed so fucking weird, but it sounds great because of that. It's an art form that is unfortunately slowly just being phased out in order to just make everything sound what is considered objectively good. But that's no longer art. You know what I mean? That's just making something that you think people are going to like, which is different in my opinion. So I don't know. I think that kind of applies to movies. That applies to music. It's interesting stuff, Not everything should be so cookie cutter. JT Owsley is saying, name 6 horror movies to describe yourself. Mine are It Follows, The Shining, Terrifier, When a Stranger Calls, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. Great choices, JT. I gotta think. I really gotta think. Okay, so Terrifier 2 would be one of mine. I'm just going off of like my favorite horror movies as of right now. Fuck it, I don't care. Terrifier 2, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream 6, because Scream 6 is just, I don't know. That's my weird little favorite movie. It's not the best from that franchise, of course, but I just love it for what it is. 31 from Rob Zombie. I fell in love with that movie recently. That's great. Oh, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think, is up there in The Fly. You got to put I knew The Fly was going to be on there. Come on, baby. But I would probably go with those 6. I feel confident in that. Those are probably some of the ones in my rotation recently that are just like very, very near and dear. Sorry, everybody. Ooh, got a little something in my throat. That sounded gross. Logan is saying, what horror movie coming out this year are you the most excited for? Terrifier 3 without a doubt, without a stutter, even though there was a lot of stuttering in that last sentence. Terrifier 3, all the way, baby. I'm so excited for it. But I am very excited there's a lot of other horror flicks to be excited for this year. We got The Wolfman coming out from Lee Winnell. We got Abigail coming out from Radio Silence. Can't wait for that. Us Radio Silence fans have been eating good the last 3 years, let me tell you. Scream 6, now Abigail. I'm hyped. Oh, cannot wait for this new one. Kind of shocked that Samara Weaving's not in this one. We got Catherine Newton, though, and Melissa Barrera. And Dan Stevens and Giancarlo Esposito. It's got a great cast. I'm excited for it. What else is coming out this year that I'm forgetting about? Maxine, but we don't have a release date yet, so I'm just like, ugh. I want to talk more about it, but we just know nothing about that crazy film. Maxine's going to be great whenever it comes out, hopefully soon. What the fuck else is coming out this year that I'm totally forgetting about? That Lisa Frankenstein I'm excited about. I believe it's coming from a similar creative team as Jennifer's Body, if I'm remembering correctly. So that one is definitely high up on my list. That comes out soon, actually. That's February. I was excited for Founders Day, but that ship has long sailed. What else is coming out this year that I'm forgetting about? The VHS 7, whatever the fuck it's going to be called. I think it has a title. I'm just not remembering it. There's a new VHS coming out this year, which I love those dumb movies. Oh my God, they're so fucking crazy. Can't get enough of those. Make 100 more VHS flicks, please. What else is coming out this year that I'm forgetting about? I know Black Phone 2 and Megan 2 are coming out next year, which I am hyped for. We talked about Smile 2 earlier. Smile 2 is going to be fucking banging. So that's up on my list as well, for sure. But I don't know. I think 2024 is going to be a good year. I'm hoping it's better than 2023. But what I will say is that we're off to a pretty bad start. I have not seen anything that really blew me away yet. Or not even something that was like middle of the road. Like unfortunately, all the movies I've seen in theaters this year so far have been pretty disappointing. Which makes me sad. There was usually, at least for me, the last 2 Januaries, there's been at least one movie that kind of blew me away. And this year, not so much. Makes me a sad little guy. A sad little fella. If they're going to use the skeleton of Scream 3 to make 7, I don't want the movie. Please just don't make Scream 7.3. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't want them to do that either. There was rumors that came out about, oh my God, sorry, words totally slipped my mind. There was a lot of rumors that came out that said like it was going to go to Hollywood again and stuff. I just don't buy that. I mean, they took, there's so much attention to detail with Scream 6 in order to make it not the same thing as Scream 2, which people will disagree with me on. That's totally fine. I respect your guys' opinion. I think that they did a great job at making it not all about the college stuff, like how they did in Scream 2. It's more about New York City, and that to me is like, okay, that's a really good way to differentiate yourself from Scream 2, even though your characters have the same reason for moving from point A to point B because of college. So for me, I thought that really worked. I really enjoyed that about Scream 6. It wasn't too Scream 2 until we got to the end, but that's a whole different thing. Whole different argument there. I think Scream 7 needs to really just avoid the Scream 3 plot lines. Nothing about Hollywood, nothing about the stab movies. Try to go down a different path. That'll make it really stand out and just make it its own Scream film. I'm with you, Queric. I don't want Scream 3, the remake. I'm not a fan of that. I think both Screams 5 and 6 kind of lean into the movies that they're not copying, but definitely borrowing a little from in their third acts. Like Scream 5 takes place at the same house again, and they even make fun of themselves for that. I feel like personally that's a mistake. We should have had a different third act setting, even though Stu's house is pretty cool. It's a great setting, but I don't think we needed to go there again. Scream 6 though, I love the final setting for that one. The Ghostface Shrine is probably one of the coolest set pieces in the entire franchise. So for me, I really didn't mind that. It's more just so about the killer reveal being very obvious in the same way that Scream 2's killer is obvious. And that makes me kind of sad. I'm like, what? Why would you copy that? Why wouldn't you try to make that something better? But I don't know. So you make some good points there, my friend. Eric Z is saying, I really love how Scream 5 and 6 flipped the script on the opening kills, going so far as the victim surviving. Yes, no, I'm with you there. 5 is, well, okay, here's my thing with it. 5, it was a shock that Tara was still alive. That was cool. I'm not crazy about the fact that they show Tara basically die, and then they cut the title card, and then she's fine a minute later. That, I don't know if I was crazy about that, but I do agree. I like the shocks. I like the surprise. That's fun. 6's opening scene, I think, is just reinventing the wheel in a lot of ways. It's a very interesting opening scene that makes me want more of that. I really want to see just a whole Ghostface movie. What's a Scream movie like entirely from the perspective of Ghostface? Let's get that for $35 million and not for $5,000, Hollywood. Come on. Someone's got to make that movie. It's got to happen. House of a Thousand Corpses and Texas Chainsaw for me. Oh, I just watched House of a Thousand Corpses. Oh, that's such a good movie. I love that movie to death. Like, I don't know. Say what you will about Rob Zombie. I mean, he's got some misses under his belt for sure, but dude, that movie's so good. Oh, I love it. James is bringing up another movie that's coming out this year I'm excited for. Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. I keep forgetting about this one anytime I talk about 2024 horror. I think it's because it's like right at the end of the year, Like I'm just forgetting about it, but I am very excited for this one. Robert Eggers, his first 3 movies are kick-ass in my opinion. I fucking love them. I'm very excited to see what he does with Nosferatu. And Ari Aster, dude. I mean, talking about some of these other people in the same weird little subgenre of horror. Ari Aster's got this crazy fucking like Western horror movie coming out sometime soon. I believe it's filming this year and it'll most likely release in 2025. It's called Eddington, and I'm very hyped for it. Beau is Afraid. I don't think I've ever been so upset after seeing a movie. I have never been so filled with anxiety. It ruined my day, frankly. And I kind of never want to watch it again, but I still want to see Ari Aster movies. I'm not going to lie. This guy he knows how to get in my head and fuck with me, and that scares me. Same with Robert Eggers, though. He does a really good job with horror period pieces, so I'm excited to see what he does with this. Can't wait for more great vampire movies. Yeah, we need a good vampire movie, man. It's been too long. Last Voyage of the Demeter did not do it for me, like at all. I was really hoping that one would be better. So I need a good vampire movie, dude. I'm Chrissy. I'm so with you. How do you make a Black Phone 2 the way the first one ended? Great question. I have no idea. I love the Black Phone 2. I love that movie. It's great. But I don't think we need a sequel. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't think we need a dose on that one. I'm excited to see whatever Scott Derrickson does with it, though. I mean, he's such a good director. Like, whatever he touches, I'm going to be there. It is kind of funny, though, that his segment in VHS 85 is kind of just the Black Phone again. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but that was bizarre. I was like, really? Oh, okay, cool. It's kind of his like original. It's hard to explain. It's almost like he took the concept from Black Phone and just like made it his own, and not based off of a Joe Hill a novel or short story. Was that a novel? Was Black Phone a novel or a short story? I can't remember off the top of my head. Long time on that one. What else is going on? Cube 4 would be fun. I haven't even seen some of the Cube sequels. I'm going to be honest. I love Cube, though. That's a good one. Best Route is a Ghostface-centered film called Ghostface. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. I wish Jason was alive for more of the movie. I agree. Only got a little spot with him in there. He was so good for the time we had him, though. I like Screaming Ice Cream is saying Stu's dead. He got the shit stabbed out of him by Billy and electrocuted. Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. I don't know what to tell you. I love Matthew Lillard. I want to see him in more horror movies, but my man's gone. My man's a goner. Nosferatu released at the end of the year. Oscar bait. I don't know if it's Oscar bait. It's tough to Justin. Sorry, I'm getting tired, as you can see. Calling a horror movie Oscar bait is a stretch, don't you think? I'm so kidding. But there's probably going to be some great performances in this one for sure. We got Willem Dafoe and who the fuck is playing Bill Skarsgård playing Count Orloff, I believe. It's got a really good cast. Point being, your boy's tired. I've had a long day. Crypto Media is saying 30 Days of Night. Love this movie. It's one of my favorite vampire movies, if not my all-time favorite. That and The Lost Boys might be my 1 and 2. I love 30 Days of Night. It is brutal. Rewatched this movie recently with some buddies. It's really good. I don't think my friend Karen is watching, but it was very funny. We watched this movie and she like actually passed out and fell over. We were very scared. We did not think she was going to be okay. And she was like, I fell asleep. And it was like right when the vampires like start eating and killing everybody too. And it's like, you fell asleep when all the vampires were killing people? Like, what? That's crazy. Very funny stuff. Kiki is asking a good question. I might make a video about this because I think this would be fun. Do you think Scream 7 will be like New Nightmare? I think that would be so cool. I would be so down for that. Like, what a weird change up that would be. Because, the 7th Nightmare on Elm Street film is also New Nightmare. So Scream 7 following suit. What a great way to be a tribute to Wes Craven. I think I say yes to this. Like run it, make that happen. There's so much you can do with that. Not only bringing back the original cast, but having different people live. Like, what if Drew Barrymore is the final girl of this movie? Pretty much. Like, it focuses on Nev because it has to. But like, what if Drew Barrymore is like a big focal character here, opposed to Courtney Cox or opposed to, Jamie Kennedy, something like that. That could be really cool. I don't know. Me personally, if I was in charge of that, I would just have like all the roles reversed. Like, I would just change everyone's place, essentially. Have someone who isn't Drew Barrymore in the opening scene and start doing some crazy fuck shit. Eric is saying of the Firefly trilogy, Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses has the most rewatchability, in my opinion. I agree, but Devil's Rejects ending is so much like it. I love this movie, don't get me wrong, but Devil's Rejects, that ending is so good. Like, I think it's the best scene Rob Zombie has ever cooked up, in my opinion. It's so brutal, so depraved. I love it. Justin is saying he hasn't seen Renfield, but I heard good things about it. That's a vampire movie. Yeah, no, it's good. It's just not a conventional vampire movie. It's a horror comedy. You know what I mean? It's fun for that reason. We got Abigail coming up though, which does seem a little, on the comedy side of things, but still very brutal and bloody, which makes me happy. Renfield was bloody, but it's very like comical blood. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm not scared of Renfield. There's nothing about that movie that scares me. It's very goofy, more comedy-oriented horror flick, where something like Abigail, I feel like, might be more of a 50-50 split. I enjoyed Renfield, though. Definitely was not bad. I would never call this movie bad. It just wasn't like, oh God, I need to buy this. I need to watch this again. I don't know. Nick Cage was good. He was fun. He was very funny in it, for sure. I'll give it a watch. It's definitely, like, without a doubt, worth a watch. What's going on here? Horror movie deaths evolved from giallo, which evolved from murder plays from the 17 to 1800s. Giallo is something that, like, a lot of people are like, that's technically not a slasher flick. But I'm like, yeah, it is. it's so a slasher flick. Just an earlier rendition of it. But a lot of those are good, man. I fucking like Deep Red is so good. If you haven't seen Deep Red, character work is fantastic in that. The kills are fucking crazy. And it's done in such a different way than what you're used to, too, which I personally love, you know? Argento can do no wrong. Gotta watch more of his movies. Very underrated director and creator overall. Jason is saying, hot take, I still don't want Scream 7 and hope it gets fully canceled. Can't forgive Spyglass for their moronic decisions. Now let me ask you this, though. What if they do bring back Melissa Barrera? Like, that's my question to everyone. Like, what if they brought her back? You know, like, what happens then? I don't know if that's going to happen. Like, I'm honestly in the camp of, I don't think that's probably, chances are pretty low on that happening. But if it did, I'm curious what everyone would say about that, who is currently saying they want to boycott Scream 7. I don't know. I'm just staying like, I'm staying neutral until the movie comes, until we really have news about the movie. You know what I mean? Like, I want to stay like, I want to cover the updates. I want to see where this goes, because this isn't over yet. You know what I mean? This whole thing is not over yet. We have just learned another unfortunate chapter in the story leading up to Scream 7. Now, we might get just more shitty news, which is totally in the realm of possibilities, but I want to see where this whole wormhole goes. Personally, I'm saving judgment until I see a product, until I see something actually come of this. I like Scream, and Ice Cream is saying, what do you think of Seed of Chucky? I hate it personally. I enjoyed this movie when I was a kid, but not really anymore. I don't know. It's just very, it's very gimmicky. It's very like, here are these like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if Chucky killed Britney Spears? You know what I mean? Like, that's the humor of that movie. It's not for me. And the show is all that. The show is all like, wouldn't it be cool if Chucky did this? Like, that's the impetus of every scene in the Chucky show. I don't know. I need more than that. I need story. I think what's so good about, like, especially the first two Child's Play movies is like, I care about the characters. Maybe they're not like the best written characters in movies ever, but it's like they're written good enough for me to care. I need that at the very least. There's just, I don't know, everything in the Chucky show and Seed of Chucky is like, what if Chucky did this like random wild thing? Oh, dude, so random. I don't know. That kind of stuff is just not for me, unfortunately. We were talking about like how supernatural horror likes to do some like crazy outlandish shit, but there's usually some kind of like thematic reason behind it. You know what I mean? Like, I think a good example of that is Men. I'm not crazy about this movie, Men from 2022, but there's a certain shot towards the end that is like, you'll watch it for the first time. You're like, what the fuck is going on in this scene? It is so ridiculous. It's crazy, but it's got a lot of thematic value to it. It's not just some crazy random bullshit, you know? And like, you can do crazy shit on screen. You can't just have it come out of nowhere. Then it's just nonsense. You know, anyone can write nonsense. If you can have it have some kind of thematic purpose and you can back it up with that, fuck yeah, run it, make it happen. But I want to see that. I want to see that. And I want to be able to think about it. It's one thing to shock an audience. I think a lot of people can do that, but it's a little tougher when, you shock them. And then after the shock, they're thinking about it still, you know, that's the tough thing. Can you make people think about what you just displayed to them even after the credits roll? And there's a lot of shock movies that don't do that because there's no thematic purpose, because there's no rhyme or reason to it. And that to me is no fun. That's just Marvel movie junk. I don't know. I wish you could do better than that. I think you can do better than that. Bobby G, y'all, is saying David Arquette for Ghostface if they were to go the new Nightmare route. Ooh. That would be fun because Dewey's like never going to be a Ghostface. There's no way you could ever write Dewey as Ghostface in the movies, but you could write a fictional version of David Arquette as Ghostface. I personally would not make either Matthew Lillard or Skeet Ulrich the killer if they were to go that route. Like, I think it's more fun that way, you know? Make it like Drew Barrymore and David Arquette. I don't know why. Make it Courtney Cox and David Arquette. Fuck it. That could be really cool. But I'm with you, Bobby G. If you were to go that route, you have opportunity to basically not remake the original Scream, but just like take these beloved characters from the original Scream, have them all in an ensemble together again to make another crazy whodunit slasher. Like, that's such a good idea. I don't know. To me, it's like, if they don't do that, it's such a missed opportunity. It would probably be tough to get Rose McGowan in that movie. I know she's very vocal about how much she does not want to be a part of any projects from that realm. But I don't know. Maybe, you know, money solves a lot of things. Life of Fonz is saying we need Samara Weaving to star in another horror flick of her own. I agree. I 100% agree. It's been too long. It was cool to see her in the opening of Scream 6, of course, but I was kind of hoping she'd play a bigger role. We need more of that. Need more of her in horror flicks, for sure. I love Deep Red and A Bay of Blood, both great horror flicks, for sure. I love The Mutilator, too. Very underrated slasher flick. I watched that one recently. That one's really good. Wouldn't it be cool if Chucky got arrested for tax evasion? I'm sorry, that's really funny. There you go. There's the Chucky show for you. What do I think of Cult of Chucky? Cult of Chucky was fun. Definitely not my favorite from the franchise, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I think the multiple Chuckies was utilized well. You know, I don't think it didn't feel like total nonsense to me. It like kind of made sense with the story, and it was also a bit of fun. Some of the kills are painfully CGI in this one. I think I prefer Curse of Chucky more from that weird little rebirth of Child's Play movies. But I do like this one. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I think it's a really good continuation to Curse, if that makes sense. Not better, but good. You know, I like all of the Chucky movies besides Seed. I really do love like all of those movies besides Seed. I think are just wonderful. So much fun. Eric Z is saying, hot take, Seed of Chucky is a real fun movie. Love the kills, the comedy, and the cheesy writing. Hell yeah, Eric. I love it, man. It's just not for me personally. I think what I love so much about like the Child's Play movies in particular, like the first 3 or so, is like there's a story that's trying to take itself serious at the core of that. But then there's also, you know, some crazy bullshit happening in the background. Like when Chucky reveals himself to the mom in Child's Play 1, it's a little unintentionally funny, but that's what I love about Child's Play, you know? Like they're talking about with Fast X Part 2, for instance, right now. They're like, we're going to try to make the next entry in this franchise a little more grounded, a little more serious. And I'm like, no, that's what people love about Fast X, is that it's so fucking dumb. It's ridiculous. It's over the top in all aspects. It's like, you guys went there already. You can't undo that with the franchise. I think for me, like, I've never been really crazy about the Fast and Furious movies, you know? So like to see essentially the seed of Chucky of that franchise, I love that. I think it's ridiculous because like I've just never really taken those movies seriously. But I think Child's Play at one point you could, arguably, you know? That's my thing about it. Like I think there's always there was a pretty good story there, in my opinion, in that first Child's Play that bleeds into 2 and kind of into 3. There's a point definitely where it goes completely off the rails, but I enjoy that. I don't know. For me, the first 3 Child's Plays, those are my favorite. Bride of Chucky is, of course, fantastic, too. It's got that Thousands feel to it. It's great stuff. Derek is saying fans would be very forgiving and be back on board for Scream 7 if Melissa and especially Nev came back. They'd forget all about the boycott talk they had in the last 2 months real quick. They probably would. Derek. Have you seen the Worm? Have you seen Worm, the horror movie where there's like a worm human thing? I don't know why that was so tough for me to read. I have not. Worm humans. I love it though. That sounds fucking crazy to me. All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna hop off. Jake's getting wrecked, and I still got another stream, like I was saying earlier. Let's get one more take in here. Jason is saying the frustration from the fans is valid, though. Melissa didn't. Okay, well, Jason, I respect your opinion. However you feel about Melissa Barrera, I just don't want to talk about the politics on this page. However you feel about that, feel your ways about it. Talk what you want to talk. I just, I look at Killjoy Jake as this safe haven away from politics and the evils of this planet, which is why I guess I just don't want to talk about it. Some people are very, very not very happy with me for that reason, but I don't know. I would rather just create this space for people to feel safe and feel away from all the bullshit on this planet, which unfortunately we have to deal with. But thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. I really do appreciate you guys. It has been a blast talking with y'all. And I will be live again on Wednesday for a Scream 2 watch party. So if you want to watch Scream 2 with the community, join us then. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Thanks for the support, everybody. Really appreciate you guys. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Peace out.